Chapman. Capo. Run.
You look like you threat.
I'm a threat. Yeah, it's a bet. Yeah. Oh yeah.
let's go. Chapman. Top off. Run.
You look like a threat. I'm a threat. Yeah, it's a bet. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chapman. Cut both. Run.
You look like you're a threat. I'm a threat. Yeah, it's a bet. Oh yeah. I'm a threat. It's a bet. Yeah. Let's go. Get my wrist. Whoa. Top. Yeah. Whoa. Know it. Blowing again. From. Whoa. Yeah. Making a killing. Oh yeah. In respect. It's a check. Nothing less. Oh yeah. I'm a threat. Yeah, it's a bet.
Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to the eFootball Championship 2024 fcinter Finals, the fourth club event finals, which is brought to you by Konami in partnership with the Italian giants fcinter. Today, 8 finalists will be battling it out to make sure that they get these 2 trophies here, one for the mobile and one for the console modes of play. But beyond that, of course, they want to get that coveted ticket that will take them straight to the World Finals in June this summer. Beyond that, it's going to be a brilliant day ahead. As always, lots of enticing and feisty matches on offer for you between veterans and newcomers alike. So make sure to grab the popcorn, pop up your feet, and let's get this party started. So there you have it. I'm Summer Hunter. I'll be your host for today. And we want to give you a very big thank you as well for being here with us throughout the season. And once more for these fcinter finals, because it's going to be a spectacular day ahead. And of course, it's going to be supported by none other than the best commentary duo you could possibly ever think of for eFootball. I'm so very happy to be by my 2 wingmen, partners in crime. Maybe we should come up with another name for the 2 of you. But Harry Channon, Stuart Wesley, my guys. How are we? Another day, another final.
Another day, another finals. Yeah, we've had 3 gone by the wayside already. So time is ticking now to secure the spots to the World Finals, which just ramps up the pressure, ramps up the expectation today. I cannot wait for the excitement and the action today.
Yeah, looking at some of the names on the list of what we've got on offer here today. Yeah, it's got a big fight feel. Big fight feel to today's finals. I can't wait for us to get started.
Someone's bringing the big gloves today then, right?
That's it. That is it. Someone's looking for a knockout blow is what they're looking for.
Well, we'll see if that does end up happening. Of course, for those of you who have been with us, you already know the drill by now. You know what the competition format is like. But if you are, in fact, joining us for the very first time, we do want to give you the opportunity to understand how this all works, how we got here today. So just to let you know, there were 3 rounds which were played previously, and they were split across 4 different regions around the world. They are made up by Eastern Asia, Oceania and other areas, that being one region, Western Asia, Europe and Africa, and the Americas. Now, how this works is that the regional winners or the representatives are then here at the finals for today. In the case of these fcinter finals, however, everyone is a representative as a regional winner. So, walk us through the nitty-gritty of how this day happens.
So as you rightly said, yeah, we've kind of had some club finals already, so if there's viewers returning, you know how this works already, but if you're new here, essentially mobile and console split into 2 different groups. Within the group stages, everyone plays each other. It's a round robin format. 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw, none for a loss. And then the top 2 at the end of the group stages essentially play off against each other in the final 90 minutes, then extra time and penalties if they're needed, Semra, to decide who will be our platform winners today and represent Inter at the World Finals.
Which is something that Weza was really hoping for. He was crossing his fingers about earlier on in our rehearsal, so maybe his dream, his wish perhaps will come true then. But listen, I think it's time for us to get to know these finalists. So why don't we start with the console mode of play. Of course, there's only going to be 4 contenders for this round in the group stage, and we can begin with Saif Al-Hacker, 55, who is from Jordan. He's the regional winner of Asia West. Isco, you may well remember him. He featured here recently at the FC Bayern finals. He is the regional winner of the Americas. Then we have Takaki, who was the regional winner of Asia East and Oceania and others. He was actually here in the FC Barcelona finals, so another familiar face there. And last but not least, someone you will know very well indeed throughout the last few years. He's been a regular feature in these eFootball competitions. Mestre from Spain. He is the regional winner of Europe and Africa. So let's go one by one here. Let's go down the list. Familiarize us a little bit more with who Saif Al-Hacker is from Jordan.
One of the best players to come out of Asia, full stop. In terms of accolades, in terms of his abilities, I'd probably put him right up there in terms of being in that kind of almost top 4 bracket coming out of Asia. He is that good. You can see some of the accolades on your screen already, but he's used to having these types of occasions. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on here because, of course, in this type of format, as Harry already alluded to, you've got 3 games of the group stage. You have to make them count.
You do indeed. Well, listen, there's no disco without Isco, although last time it didn't quite work, and I'm going to use every opportunity to bring up that phrase because I just love to say it. Anyway, our man from Mexico, he is here with us once more. Perhaps he can have a better time this time around?
Yeah, unfortunately, when we were at the Allianz, did bow out in the group stages, but like you said, there is no disco without Isco. He's a showman, he's an entertainer, he gets animated. Came quite close in the group stages last time. He'll be hoping he can go one further here today.
He certainly does bring the energy and the good vibes at the very least. He's a lot of fun to watch. Now talk to us a little bit about Takaki from Japan, someone else we're a little bit more familiarised with as well after these last few weeks.
Yeah, we got familiarised with him at the Barcelona club finals, and granted went out of the group stage, didn't quite get through to the finals, but that experience may be almost like his little golden nugget there to maybe kind of hold on to, because he'll have experienced this format already and will kind of hopefully maybe have learnt from those lessons that he experienced in the Barcelona club finals and apply it to here.
Mestre, heavyweight, a titan, someone who is vastly experienced, not just playing in these competitions but actually winning them and going the distance. He'll be the one to beat today, I imagine.
You'd imagine so, yes. I mean, veteran viewers of this competition will recognise the name Miguel Mestre. He's been a mainstay of this competition for so long. Obviously won the eFootball Pro Cup in 2020. It's quite a way ago now, and it was representing a different club back then. He's going to try and ply his trade for Inter today. But yeah, I think you're right. I think he's the favourite here today.
A heavy hitter nonetheless. Well, listen, let's run you through the order of fixtures for the console the console mode of play, rather. And here we go. We've got Saif Al-Hacker 55 up against Isco first. That's on stream. Remember this, I will come back to it in just a moment. We have the second match on stream for you available as well. That's Takaki against Mestre. Third fixture for them is Saif Al-Hacker 55 against Mestre, followed by Isco taking on Takaki. Match 5, Saif Al-Hacker in action once more against Takaki. And last but not least for you in the group stage is going to be Isco versus Mestre. So when I say on stream, what I mean is that those are the matches that are going to be available for you live on our platform. You can stream them as they happen. So make sure that you take note and stick around throughout the whole afternoon because it's going to be really exciting indeed. Now guys, seeing that list and the order in which they're going to be played, of course, that order was determined based on the last round that led them here today. What are some of the takeaways?
I'm looking at match number 2. Takaki versus Mestre looks like a very tasty affair. I think those two are probably the two I probably picked to see in the grand finals later on for the console group, but I mean, all 4 of these players are so strong that anyone could end up contesting the final later on.
Yeah, I think if you're neutral watching at home, though, match 3 is certainly the one that sticks out for me. Safe versus Mestre, 2 of the best players within the esports community, within eFootball, going head-to-head in match 3. I think that game could very much decide the group. It really could. It has that level, especially with how good those 2 players are. It would be fascinating to see who comes out on top there.
Could come to blows then, and potentially maybe they will be the ones who go through to the grand final of the console platform. Well, let's move on then to the mobile platform and meet our finalists. We have from Thailand, Jxmkt. He is the regional winner of Europe and Africa. We have Nerazzurri from India, the regional winner of Asia West. From Brazil, another Brazilian in the mix as well. Player 227, America's regional winner, last but not least for you, Gu38 Games. From Japan, he is the regional winner of Asia East and Oceania, and others. Now, talk to us a little bit about Jxmkt. We've had a few representatives from Thailand this season.
Yeah, especially within the Asian region in terms of mobile esports. We've said this on quite a few occasions actually, is that it is kind of a platform that is almost exploding in popularity. You know, Thailand, Japan, that neck of the woods, as it were, for lack of a better phrase, is where we're starting to see more and more players come out of it. You certainly can see it in the finals here, especially with Jxmkt, 22 years old. Again, there's nothing really to split them in terms of ages. I mean, outside of maybe what we're going to see from Brazil's representative when we get through to it. But Jxmkt certainly looks like it'll be one to watch.
Your man Joy Boy from India a few weeks ago, you pegged him to be the one to go all the way and to become actually the first ever winner of an eFootball competition from his country. Well, he has a compatriot taking part in today's action, Nerazzurri. Might he be able to follow in the footsteps?
It's big footsteps to follow, but yeah, he'll be hoping his countrymen will pave the way for him. It would be such a great story to see 2 Indian representatives at the World Finals. 18 years of age. He's a promising young newcomer. I just wonder whether or not at this level of competition, experience might just be the thing that's lacking here for Prince Yadev. But I mean, at this stage of the competition, he's done well to get this far, so he's within a shout, you know, a puncher's chance, as they say.
I don't know what I like more, his eFootball name or his real name.
They're both
Prince,
great names.
I got to tell you, it's a pretty great name. Adds a little bit of element of regality to this. And listen, we've got another Brazilian in the mix. Brazil obviously is a factory when it comes to producing world-class footballers in the real world, but also in the eFootball world. Tell us a little bit about player 227, who's a little bit new to the scene.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we talked about, I alluded to 33 years of age, but as you quite rightly said, there are so many good players that come out of Brazil, both on console, mobile. It kind of really has opened the door a little bit, this mobile platform, to allow kind of users who weren't necessarily handy on a console to go, hey, actually, we'll give this mobile one a shot. And looking at it from Rafael Mendonca's point of view, he's benefited from it and certainly be able to put his stamp down here for Brazil and see whether he can get through.
And last but not least, from Japan, Gu38 Games.
Yeah,
Where do you go?
I think we'll be going with Reinaguchi for most of the broadcast, just because it's such a great name to say. It
is a great name.
It rolls off the tongue.
Reinaguchi,
A couple of things to pick up on. A political science student. Can't imagine there'll be too much diplomacy being brought to his game. He'll be hoping that it's a very easy day for him.
His name, Ray, in Spanish it means king.
Oh,
so we've got a king and a prince.
Maybe we've got a king and a prince,
Wow.
and maybe a little bit of diplomacy or a lack of.
you never know. The other thing is, interestingly enough, the other players on the mobile platform all have representation at the World Finals for their countries already. Japan is the one outlier.
Good point.
Takaki on console and, of course, Reinaguchi here on the mobile platform have a chance to be the first Japanese players here today to qualify for the World Finals, which, of course, is being held in their homeland. So, yeah, could be a fun storyline to follow today.
Well spotted. Yeah, well spotted. That would be kind of like completing the pack, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You get one from each of these countries that have been at all of these competitions so far. It would be kind of a nice way to fill the deck, as it were, right?
Yeah, and crucially, crucially, if Reinaguchi or Takaki get through, home field advantage.
Yeah.
Don't need to get acclimatized, none of that. They can just cozy on down to Tokyo and just play their game.
All right, well, let's see how it works out for them then over the next few hours. Let's run you through the running order then, shall we, of these matches that are going to be available for you for the mobile mode of play. We've got up first Jxmkt against Habacha, then player 227 against, what are we going to go with? His real name, we said, right? Reinaguchi.
That's right.
Then we've got Jxmkt again against Reinaguchi on stream. Habacha, player 227 will follow suit on stream as well for match 4. Fixture 5, Jxmkt takes on player 227, and last but not least, it's going to be a real battle between Habacha and Reinaguchi on stream. So that will be a wrap for the group stage at that particular time. What is your pick of the lot then, guys, for these group stage matches?
I don't know about you, Wes. For me, it's the match we're going to see first on stream for the mobile group stages. We have Jxmkt taking on Reinaguchi. Similar ages, similar experience levels. That, to me, just kind of says that we could have a fiery affair, and it could be, I don't want to use the term a roll of a dice, but it could be a kind of a toss-up as to who could win that one.
Yeah, for me, it does stick out purely because you took geographically Southeast Asian derby between Thailand and Japan. Yeah, it's got a bit of meat to that one. I'm very much a fan of a derby whenever they come about.
Yes, meat on the bones, I like it. Okay, well, we've got a mixed bag whenever it comes to which of these fixtures are going to be available for your viewing pleasure on the platform. So let's just run you through the order so you know what is going to be played and in which mode of play and at what time. So please pay attention and take note because you don't want to miss out on all of the action. So at first, we're going to be starting with a mobile platform. And we've got, sorry, my apologies, we're going to start with console actually for match 1. It's going to be Saif Al-Hacker 55 against Isco. Then we've got another game for you on console. It's going to be Takaki against Mestre. Then we switch over to the mobile style of play. We've got Jxmkt against Reinaguchi. Then again on mobile for match 4, Habacha against player 227. Switch back over to console one final time for Saif Al-Hacker 55 against Takaki. And last but not least for the group stage, we've got Habacha against Reinaguchi. Then that will be followed by the console grand finale and the mobile grand finale. So plenty to get stuck into then for the next few hours. But before we get to the action, I do just want to give you all the opportunity to have a nice little friendly reminder to collect your 500 eFootball points. I know you all want them and they're there for the taking. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is head straight over to the viewing campaign banner, which is displayed right now in game. Don't miss out on that opportunity. Make sure that you join the streaming via this mode of possibilities, of course, to join the fun here in the studio today. And of course, we have a lot of other things that we want to keep you up to date on, so make sure that you follow everything as it unfolds across all of our social media platforms. So guys, I think without further ado, unless you have anything else you would like to add before we get this show on the road, any final thoughts?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get it underway. Yeah, can't wait.
Let's get ready to rumble indeed. Well, up first we have from Jordan, Saif Al-Hacker 55 against Mexico's Isco.
Hello guys, I am Saif Dababne, my nickname Saif Al-Hacker 55. I'm from Jordan, I'm 24 years old. I am very happy to play Inter-Finals and I am looking to get the World Finals in Tokyo. See you guys.
Hola jugadores de eFootball, les habla su amigo IscoVD. Y bueno, al ser mexicanos participamos lo que fue en la región de América y nuevamente nos tocará representar lo que es este continente. Ahora estaremos representando lo que es a un nuevo equipo, el cual se los voy a mostrar a continuación. Así es, ahora estaremos apoyando lo que es al Inter de Milán. Así que no olviden seguirnos lo que es en la transmisión y esperemos traernos este título a casa. Un saludo a todos.
Well, great to hear from the players, Saif Al-Hacker and Isco, Wes. We are just moments away from kickoff here. I cannot wait for this club event finals to get underway, purely because we spoke about it a little bit off air. Time is running out to qualify for those world finals. We've seen world champions at club events previous fail to qualify, and with the club event finals running out essentially, you don't want to be caught, as I always say, musical chairs when the music stops without a seat in Tokyo.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that is something really to go on here, is that there's not many of these club finals left for some of these players, and as you already said, you look at some of the names that have made it to club finals and have not managed to get through. It does also show just how kind of brutal, for lack of a better term, that this kind of round robin setup really is, because as you said, you get 3 games in those group stages. There's not really any, it's not like in previous seasons where you say, oh well, we've got another match day, or there's another, another event that we can kind of pick up on. Instead, you're right here, and this is all you've got. So both these two will be looking to get their best foot forward here.
Well, best foot forward indeed, and we are underway. Our first match. It is Saif Al-Hacker taking on Isco. Isco in the home strip, Saif in the changed white strip for Inter, and we'll get to know, of course, the Inter squad virtually throughout today. But those fans at home, definitely those who are experienced in eFootball, will know the type of quality this club possesses. Lautaro Martinez here starting off very well for Isco. Sanchez on the turn. Bit of a half chance there, but good spaces early on here for Mexico's Isco.
Yeah, and as you quite rightly said, the squad that Inter Milan have the ability to call on. You look at the likes of Thuram, you look at the likes of Sanchez and Lautaro Martinez.
Al-Hacker here into Isco's box, but Bastoni, and very smartly, and this could be a counter-attack. For Isco, back to Sanchez. DeMarco looking for Martinez, but one cut out quite well by Al-Hacker, and he's a man that you noted in the pre-game list that we should look out for here today. Saif Al-Hacker from Jordan, 24 years old. It's a real chance here, but Pavard stepping in. Just quell the danger for now.
A key marker of Saif Al-Hacker's game is the ability to absorb pressure and then kind of counter-attack at blistering pace. So it'll be something that Isco will look to make sure that he's kept that defensive back door closed.
A very good dummy on that far side. Defended well by Bastoni, but yeah, Al-Hacker is, of course, a 2022 World Finals runner-up in the eFootball Championship Open, so he knows this competition well, and he's in here with a chance early on! And it's the first goal! 20 minutes gone, and it is the man from Jordan, Saif Al-Hacker, 55. Puts himself into the lead, Wes, 1-0.
In a blink of an eye, he will just take a game away from you. Again, little dribble down that right-hand side, just unseats it, and again, little dummy in there, gets it to the byline. Thuram is very much waiting there, completely unmarked. And again, from that type of range, Marcus Thuram is not going to miss. See there, thundered past the goalkeeper. Sommer left all ends up. And Saif Al-Hacker has a 1-0 lead.
As you say, 1-0. It's a great way to start off your group stage campaign. He's looking to attack here in a similar vein. Has a man over on that far side here, Al-Hacker. Looking for the 1-2 punch. Looks like a stunning cross, and that was Martinez.
That's a free header as well.
Inches away from connecting. I often say at this level, Wes, and the chances do appear you have to take them. Clinical players tend to thrive at this level. Çalhanoğlu into the feet of Martinez, and Sanchez is there! We could be on for a good game here, Wes, because 8 minutes following the opening goal, Isco has found a reply. 1-1.
Little bit of fortune in the final phase, but there was no fortune in the build-up from Isco. As we'll see again, it's a cheap giveaway in midfield there by Safe. You see that good ball in there, and you see that just there. It's almost as though the tackle animation has got him, but it's almost given an extra pass here for the defender. So assist looks like it's gone to Bastoni. You'll see there, just lays it in. And Sanchez is able to profit. And Isco has an equaliser.
Our America's regional winner, after falling in the group stages at the Allianz, at the FC Bayern München club finals, has his equaliser just 8 in-game minutes later. Is there a immediate reply from Saif Al-Hacker? Almost a chance there for Al-Hacker to get his immediate reply, but an Afro Arab League 2023 champion, of course, hailing from Jordan, our Asia West regional winner. I'm going to keep saying it, Wes. He's someone you kind of tipped your hat to at the top of the show. I just wonder whether or not he can continue his impressive performances from other tournaments here and earn the right to represent the Milanese club. He's on the charge here as well. Laid off, and that's a strike on goal! And what a goal! Reinstating the lead, it's the Turk Haçan Çalhanoğlu.
That is a thunderous strike, and it was really good build-up there from Saif as well. It's the knockdown from Thuram, the nudge past the left back, and again finding Çalhanoğlu in space. And we'll see it again here. It's this key bit here. It's the chip from Barella. Again, you'll see there the stumble of De Vrij takes him out of that defensive line and allows Çalhanoğlu some space to work in. And you cannot leave the Turk that space to operate in, because he will punish. As we'll see again, first time strike on the right foot, cannoned into the top right-hand corner of the goalkeeper's net. And that is 2-1 now for Saif Al-Hacker. Whether he can maintain the lead or not.
And with half-time approaching, that's going to be the aim. Barella, though, into the feet of Sanchez now. DiMarco, stunning cross, first time looking for a goal scorer the other way. It'll be a corner. Didn't quite get to see which player item it was. You'd have to assume it was the big time Çalhanoğlu, but Isco headers on at the front post. Eduardo can't get it under control, but you would have to keep your eye on Çalhanoğlu and set pieces and creeping in to join the attack, just sneaking through. Throughout today, you'd have to assume that's going to be a common theme. Isco feeds Sanchez! 4 goals so far in this first half, Wes.
Such a slick build-up from Isco. It's one-touch passes, and it's a brilliant finish from Alexis Sanchez. We'll see it again here, but it's so good in the build-up phase, and we saw a lot of this in Munich. We saw a lot of it, but without the payoff from Isco. Now, on the other hand, we're now seeing it here. Just a quick 2 passes in, pokes it with Sanchez, gets it into the bottom corner, and it is 2-2, and I don't even think we've reached half-time yet.
Well, we certainly haven't. The second goal for Isco. Alexis Sanchez. He said he was a bit of a showman, very animated. Likes to entertain when we saw him back in Munich last month.
Ci saranno 3 minuti di recupero.
He's not disappointing with his performance so far. Could he even try and steal the lead just before half-time? Sadly, the referee's assistant rightly flags. Last attack of the half here for Saif Al-Hacker. He's got all the way to the byline, and there's a good foot in by Pavard for Isco, but the referee has said that'll do you. Half time, 2 goals apiece, and you have to give real credit here, Wes, to Isco, behind twice to get that equaliser both times, just showing a bit of resiliency here.
Yeah, a bit of metal there from Isco, and again, we saw a lot of it, as we said, in Munich. It was just a case that he couldn't quite put the finishing touches on it, whereas here, it appears as though, you know, sometimes we talk about players and play styles that, I'll come back to that point.
As it looks like Al-Hacker is in search of reinstating that lead, which has been nullified twice by the Mexican.
I was going to say is that you look at sometimes with clubs, and we talk about players kind of using their natural play styles with them. Instead, it looks as though...
Oh, that's a great ball here for Al-Hacker! Back in the lead again! Thuram with his second today put Saif Al-Hacker 55 back in the lead for the 3rd time.
Well, my point now, it kind of applies to both of these players, is that it appears as though both of these players are very much at home with using this interside, and they're using it and their strengths to great effect. We've seen 5 goals in the opening game. Normally these opening games are very kind of almost tense and tetchy, and this is just really open, as we'll see here. Thuram fires that one home for Saif Al-Hacker, makes it 3 goals to 2.
Well, as the pause comes in, you'd have to ask the question, and no doubt Saif Al-Hacker is asking the question to himself. How can I hang on to this lead now? Because I've already let 2 leads go. It's got a 3rd bite at the cherry. You'd have to assume these tweaks come in from both sides to try and, you know, swing the pendulum in their favour.
Yeah, for Saif, it's how do I not concede, and for Isco, it's how can I score more. Those are the 2 questions really here for these 2 players. And we always say about these pause periods or these game plan periods, they are worth their weight in gold, because these changes here can drastically affect the game. Let's not understate just how important this can actually be to both of these players, which we'll see there. And interestingly, as we said about sub-tactics, just a nod for viewers at home, if this is the first time you've watched a game of eFootball, you can set your team up to have a secondary tactic that you can switch to in the game. It also helps that you can disguise your true intention in the match play screen, where people can view your opponent information. So just a little tip for you guys at home, if you are looking to try and kind of outsmart your opponent, that can sometimes be a really popular way to do it.
Well, header after the long throw, won by Isco. And I think you're right, both players here in the group stages know how to use their play styles in affinity with Inter, because they're just both playing so direct, getting so many chances. It's not often you see a opening group stage match have this much action. That's a lovely ball. That's as well though for Pavard. And Isco now with Mkhitaryan and Cuadrado. There's plenty of time and space, and there's Sanchez! You have to tip your hat, Wes, because it's a hat-trick today for Isco, using his fellow, I want to say South American, but of course Mexico, Central America, either way the Americas region coming into play here.
I was going to say, it's very rare that a Mexican will rely on a Chilean so much, but it certainly seems that way here. What I was a very big fan of here with Isco was that opening dribble that he had, and it was the composure and the wherewithal to just stay calm enough to play the pass when he wanted to play the pass. And as a result, it's Alexis Sanchez again 3 goals each here. I mean, I know that Semra said we've got other games to watch here, but if they want to rerun this again, like for like the rest of the show, I'm more than happy to watch this again and again. Such as the attacking talent we're seeing from both of these players here, and I think it's a testament to Safe's gameplay in terms of the fact that, you know, we're seeing a very attacking version. But I think a big kind of shout out is Isco's evolution from, you know, from Munich and from the Allianz Arena. He's taken that experience and gone, okay, what did I not do? What was I not very good at? And to be fair, his goal conversion rate on that day wasn't great. This, however, completely different set of circumstances and a completely different set of results here.
Right, it is, and I think both men will kind of use this opportunity where they go to that subs bench, the inter-squad, so deep, so many interesting dynamics that go into the virtual team sheet. But I have to ask you about the psychological side of it. Al-Hacker twice, 3 times in front, 3 times has conceded.
It can have a knock. It certainly can have a knock, because you know, the normal thought would be, okay, this guy's not going away. You know, for example, Isco is not going away because he keeps, Safe keeps conceding goals. So he's, you know, as much as he's doing great and he's scored 3 goals, he's also conceded 3 goals, and he can't shake him off.
Martinez bursting into the box, and Mkhitaryan! Isco, for the first time, storms into a lead. It's Mkhitaryan, far post, found perfectly just after the hour mark. And Isco, he has the lead now.
You love to see it. You love to see it. I mean, in terms of, again, good gameplay, just holds up the ball, finds the avenues, and it was that touch there, takes it through into the box. And it's a gift of that back post, because once you get into that realm, and once you'll see the goalkeeper kind of moves towards the front post, you're in such an angle where the goalkeeper can't get to it. And Mkhitaryan, he's not the tallest player in the world, but if he's got an unmarked header, he'll find the back of the net. And for the first time in this game, we can say that Isco leads against Save Al-Hacker. What a wonderful game of eFootball we're watching here.
It can only be described as a 7-goal thriller. With only an hour played between our 2 club finalists from Jordan and Mexico. Bit of a chance to take a breather now, Wes.
We might need it. We might need it after this.
Need it. Isco says he wants to keep turning the screw. Still dangerous territory here. Around down to Martinez. Oh, he's taken a wicked deflection.
That could have gone absolutely anywhere. That could have. It's a corner ball, and the danger's not over here, but you can almost sense it. I mean, we can't see the live pictures of our players, but you can almost sense almost a little bit of panic here for Safe. Is that he didn't anticipate being in this kind of avenue. Looks to like the corner, but looks as though we might be going to game plan once more.
Certainly, there's one thing we have joining us this week is, of course, our...
Yeah, I was going to say, we've got reaction cam, folks. It's great.
You'll see me darting around. I like to sit down, I like to stand up, you know, keep the diaphragm moving, but just sometimes the action gets so intense here at the club finals that you have to get on your feet.
Oh, absolutely.
Really enjoy the action.
Yeah, I'm kind of reserving the energy tank for the finals, because I think that's where it will really come to the fore. Because if you've not watched these finals before, folks, I love a good extra time and penalties. So if that does happen, that's where you'll see me be stood up for quite a lot of the game. But as for this game, I mean, what an advert for these 2 players going forward in terms of, you know, wanting to represent their countries in other tournaments. What a great advert it is for these 2 players.
Isco's corner headed on towards Bastoni, and Thuram's at the back post. Another corner. One thing I found quite interesting is that Isco not really too concerned with the tactics of his adversary. Çalhanoğlu towards Bastoni. It is well gathered. It's a rare giveaway. Looking to feed Martinez's Isco, but just to be careful. This is a great run, and who's that in the middle? You have to ask. It's Al Hacker through on goal. Oh, he tries too much, maybe. Off the frame.
The angle was too tight in the end.
Still alive here, though. Pavard not for the first time today. Helping Isco get out of a sticky situation. Al Hacker. Young man from Jordan. Holding the ball up well. Who can he find in the middle? It's a lovely back heel. It's off the frame of the goal again.
I was going to say, this is the type of gameplay you expect from Save, and on any other day that finds the back of the net. He's only missing the crossbar now, and he'll have the full set. What an opportunity that was for him. Danger is still not gone, by the way.
It's definitely not the hat-trick that you want.
No, it's absolutely not.
Trying to complete the frame of the goal, but at this point of the game it is, I mean, we say it so often, Wes. When you have a lead in a game that's been going back and forth, the question is, how defensive do you go here if you're Isco? We're able to see his tactics. Do you just set up shop? Do you say, you know what, 4-3, I've done well coming back 3 times from a losing position, and now I hold the lead. Worst case scenario, I probably draw. I mean, what do you say at this point? What do you do?
I think the issue for Isco is that he's got a lead, and if you go too defensive too early, the problem then becomes is you invite pressure onto you. And of course, Safe's already hit the post twice. There's 2 warning signs there without the tactical changes. And of course, you don't want to kind of maybe make those changes and then rue the fact that you've made them. So Isco's going to have to be very careful here in the closing stage of this game.
Speaking of, we've just ticked over into the final 15. And Al Hacker! Oh, what a corner that is! We said it may well be delicately poised. And that is a wonderful corner.
Yeah, shades of Jxmkt style corners, that is that stereotypical driven corner that goes flying across the box at an alarmingly high speed. And you only need somebody who is essentially just a bit of a unit, and it's Stephen De Vrij, the captain, make it 4-4. You'll see the movement there. Gets past the defender, gets into open space. He's so close to Sommer that Sommer can't come out and deal with it. Sometimes you need to go to the well of old faithfuls to get yourself back into a game. It certainly looks like Saif Al Hacker has done that here.
I mean, 2 things. One, I've tucked my shirt in because I know my mother will be watching, and I'm sure she won't be very happy with how I'm presenting myself. The other thing is, my type of corner, that is.
Just
really
drill across
direct
and cause absolute chaos. That's the modus operandi of that type of corner. It's just drill it across and hope somebody's there to head it.
Going for Darmian here. Thuram at the front post. Goalkeeper quickly intervenes, but 8 goals.
What a game.
What a game indeed, and we potentially haven't finished just yet. Al Hacker tries to regain the advantage he had so many times in this game. And Isco find that bit of quality. A little bit rush there on the near side, but Al Hacker is taking some risks in his build-up play.
He's looking for that long ball kind of flick on from Thuram. Isco looks to try and be building it up through kind of small ground passes, which, again, take your pick on which one you think will be more beneficial, folks.
Oh, that's advantageous recycle of the ball there as Al Hacker has a chance maybe to gain the lead.
2 over there as well.
Approaching the 90th minute, as you said, Wes, numerical advantage. And Al Hacker would have been hoping to do more with that. Reward is a corner, and don't forget he scored from this position last time around. Al Al-Hacker looking to find a striker there, but it was Martinez. 90th minute now. How many minutes of stoppage time? 6 is the number. Those men will see that number where they know there's plenty of time for either side to get a goal, and Isco's done well. Final third now. Thuram. Who can he pick out? Well defended by Al-Hacker. Cuts up the play quite nicely. Isco. Damian, far side, into the box. Who can he find? Goes for Thuram, far post. Cut out well. Is there one final attack, I wonder? No, there is not. What a game to open our club finals here for fcinter. Al-Hacker and Isco share the points with 8 goals between them. We finished 4-4, and we have quite the extended highlight reel, I think, to pick out here.
Just a bit that we have an extended highlight reel. I mean, I was furiously tapping the screen with that last chance at Isco because he had players back. So rather than the cross, if he'd have pulled it back, he could have potentially been looking at a game winner. But such is life and such is the game of eFootball, then that is all she wrote, folks. And again, we're going to take a look at the highlights here. I mean, we could just let them run without even the commentary, but to be honest, they need to be spoken about because it's just the ferocity in how these two played against one another. There wasn't any, we'll be defensive, we'll be a little bit cagey, it's our first game of the day, we'll feel each other out. They went, nope, we're just going to go at it. We're just going to go at it. You're going to get your A game, I'm going to get mine, and we'll see who comes out on top.
And I think that's something that fans and obviously the backroom staff at fcinter will be looking towards as well. We want people with that style of play that want to go and attack the game to represent the club at the World Finals, and no doubt both of these two so far, and no doubt our other 2 console group stage finalists here at the club finals will also try and live up to that, because I mean 8 goals between the 2 of them in the first group stage match. That's exactly what we and Inter fans no doubt would have been hoping for.
Yeah, I think even casting our mind back to other club finals, I don't think we've had a game that's had that many goals in it, because again, it was just so end to end. There was just chances, and it could have been even more for Safe. He hit the post twice. Yeah. You had the chances at Isco where the wrong selection was used. And of course, obviously, it's very easy to sit here in cold blood and say, well, could have just pulled that back there. But the reality was, in injury time, when your adrenaline's going, especially as we know with Isco, if your adrenaline's going, then you might not make those right choices in a calm state of mind. But again, it was a fantastic advert just for fcinter in the first place. And again, if that is just a sample size of what we are seeing in console, we are in for a very, very goal-ridden day here.
I think it's a good introduction to the whole squad of Inter in terms of the attacking options these players have. I think you said it in the commentary. I mean, as we've been talking, 7 goals have gone in. We saw a quick reaction shot of you there with how close it was to some of the chances being converted. But you said it in the commentary. Sad we don't have the reaction cams of the players, because no doubt
it would have been absolutely fascinating. I think that camera would have been flying everywhere if we had it from Isco's point of view.
I think, Semra, as we just had a look at some of the highlights, 4-4 there, we would have had some kind of next level face tracking technology if we had a camera on Isco, because he would have been all over the place.
He'd have been gone. Yeah. He'd have been actually out the chair.
I'll put the order in for next season, okay? But I mean, talk about starting with a bang. It doesn't get much better than that, right? I mean, 8-goal thriller. It's going to be a really difficult one to top, I think, but I mean, sensational stuff there between those two, the Jordanian and the Mexican. I mean, absolutely fabulous. Why don't we go ahead and catch up with what happened in the other game that was played in parallel in the mobile style of play, or mode of play rather. It was also a draw, by the way. It was 1-1. So far in these 2 matches, it's been a share of the spoils. So you can see here that it's ended with 1 point on the board for Jxmkt and Nerazzurri. We'll see if player 227 and Guthrie Games can do any better in this next match. But of course, all eyes are still going to be on the console fixture, because that is what is going to be available on stream. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say about this. Obviously, you haven't been able to watch it as of yet, but at least we know that it's going to be a very tight day, I suspect at the very least, if it's starting off like this on both sides.
Definitely. I think the players that will be benefiting from this are, of course, the two on both sides that have yet to play. I mean, we will see our next match, but you'll be thinking at that point, hey, there's points dropped on the other side. You don't have a clear favourite yet on elsewhere in your group, so gives you the chance to go and be that person. You can go out there and be the favourite for the group.
Yeah, you just want to snatch one of those top 2 places just to get into the grand finals later on. And again, I think until you maybe get the result from both platforms on match 2, you won't really get a feel as to how the group is going to kind of play out and who's going to be kind of getting on the board, because looking at what we've got left, or so far even.
But at least we're starting with a very even playing field, so it does speaks to the incredible level of quality and talent that is on display here today. Now, I know that you already had your pick of the lot for the day, and it's the next match that's coming up. I was going to say Takaki, sorry. Takaki and Mestre.
Yeah.
Tell me why, or remind anybody who hasn't had the opportunity to hear what you said earlier. Tell us why that was your pick for this group stage match.
I think Takaki, I think it might have even been yourself that called that one, but
My apologies. I couldn't remember which one of you said it, but I knew someone did. Was it Harry?
It was Harry, but I reckon...
Okay, Harry, you go then. Sorry, I'm taking it off you, Wes. Harry, you go. Tell us again why it was your pick.
You just need to look at the pedigree these two players have. I mean, looking at Mestre, he's won eFootball Pro competitions in the past. The Cup back in 2020 has been a mainstay at this level of competition. Knows what it takes to represent a club. And for Takaki, is on the other side, has won the eFootball Championship Open for the Steam platform. So both have winning pedigrees here. They know, having just seen that result, that there's points up for grabs and there's a real chance to be a front runner here, that this could spell fireworks here in our console group.
Oh, I like it. We do love a bit of fireworks every now and again. Let's see if they can provide us with that sense of entertainment then in this cracking match coming up for you. It's going to be Japan's Takaki against Spain's Mestre.
I'm from Japan and is the representative for Interclub final. My teammate is first place eFootball Championship Open 2022 on Steam, and in 2023 Japan National Champion and is the champion. I'm honored to play Interclub final because Inter is very historical club and have produced many great players, for example Javier Sanati and Jxmkt and Wesley Sneijder, now Lautaro Martinez and Federico Di Marco and many more. I win this tournament, so want to world final with Inter Milan. Forza Inter!
Hello eFootball fans, it's Mestre speaking. You may recognize me from some past competitions, but this time I'll represent Inter at the club event finals, just 4 at the last stage. I will do my best, as always. I'll try my best. I'm really boosted because I've trained really hard. I think I can win it. The hardest opponent is just myself, so it's just try to show what I've trained and try to achieve the goal I've set, that is going to Tokyo to the World Finals. Hope to see you all in the stream supporting me. Vamos!
Well, how great is it, Wes, to hear from both Takaki and Mestre? Some really interesting tidbits there, shall we say, from both of our players about to take the virtual stage and the virtual pitch. Because both know how much of an honour it is to play for this club.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a to kind of peer behind the curtain, folks, as a youngest brother brought up on watching Italian league football, to hear some of the names that Takaki was rolling out, I'm going to expose my own age here, folks, because he spoke about the likes of Wesley Sneijder and Javier Zanetti. I was more of a Christian Vieri, Ivan Zamorano, Marcelo Salas type of kid. But to hear him trying to tap in and understand the heritage that goes with representing this mammoth club, it's great to hear that from Takaki, and he knows what's at stake. Of course, on the other side of the fence, of course, Mestre just almost allowing himself to be reintroduced, as it were. It's almost like you'd somehow forgotten who Miguel Mestre was. He was like, by the way, just that you know, I'm here to compete in this, and I understand why that this has been picked out by you as a game to watch here today. I know you mentioned about the two players and their accolades. Interesting for me though, Takaki already has experience of this format this season, true. So it'd be interesting to see whether he can tap into that.
Very, very true. And we are underway between the two players here representing, of course, Asia East, Oceania and others for Takaki, and Mestre, who's on the ball now in an attacking phase, looking for Sanchez. The Spaniard representing Europe and Africa as the regional winner. Thuram can feed Martinez in behind. One of the tidbits I picked up on from Mestre's introduction as he just gives the ball away, unfortunately, there, is that, I mean, the appropriate time to bring it up, his hardest opponent is himself, and the mental game of eFootball can often be the hardest one to play and the hardest one to win. Mestre knows that about himself, Wes, and having been a seasoned veteran of this style of competition, the question is, does he know how to apply those as Thuram latches onto a wonderful ball?
Yeah, he certainly does know his way around this squad. It's a great ball into Thuram, and again, he always caught everybody cold there. And you quite rightly said he's almost his own worst enemy in terms of the standards that he wants to show. He's certainly showing that here.
He most certainly is. I don't think the defence were anticipating this. I mean, you can see the defenders just come to try and head the ball away, but Thuram's run was just timed to perfection. The ball placed in exactly the right area, and the finish was neat enough.
Yeah, a little bit of, I feel there's a little bit of super cancel run there, as you'll see if you watch it back again, just that movement where he looks as though he's about to follow the defender, instead just locks off a little bit and gets into the right moment. But it's a great start here for Mestre.
It is indeed. Barely having kicked off the game, the Spaniard enters an advantageous position. What can Takaki respond with as Taro Martinez can't quite convert that chance, and now Thuram, Sanchez and Takaki so far, at least in this phase of play, the goal notwithstanding, he's defended fairly well, and he can turn that defence into attack now. Martinez has De Vries for company, tries to go it alone, did have a man in support. And now Mestre with Çalhanoğlu. End-to-end stuff here in the group stages. Takaki is having to fight from as it stands, losing position, Wes.
Yeah, it's not the type of player you want to be up against either. Mestre is kind of almost renowned for being able to take a game away from somebody in a 1v1 format. And it's not the type of game you want to be in, but he will have to capitalise on his chances here, Takaki.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan just draws one in. Very dangerous area, the ball could have bounced anywhere, but Mestre now looking to try and build. Lovely back heel, and Thuram is able to latch onto the 1-2 as well. It's Sanchez, back to Thuram, but down the line clears away.
Good defensive work there by Takaki, and as we said, those chances when you're against, I would say, top level opposition in the likes of Mestre's or the safe al hackers of this world, you've got to take those chances. Almost become at a more of a premium than, again, you know, if you were playing against one of your mates on the couch. This is a lot different. This is, you're having to take your chances as and when they come.
Mestre on the ball. There's that goal-to-nil lead as well. Hanulu headed round the corner to Sanchez. Oh, beat the defender there. Takaki, after qualifying for the first club event finals, falling in the group stages, the pressure is on now to try and right that wrong. 10 to go until half-time, plus stoppage time, of course. Hanulu goes for a long-range strike, but Sommer, that manual goalkeeping, easily meets it towards the far post.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a gamble there from Mestre to move that goalkeeper that early, but that might be something that maybe sticks in the memory of Takaki kind of almost down the road here, because, again, if you know that your opponent is moving the keeper already, you might want to try and put it into the other corner.
Ball into Thuram. There's a chance here, one-on-one. I think he was quite expecting Mestre, the amount of space he was afforded. The strike in the end quite tame, and now Takaki. What can he conjure up? The ball to the feet of Sanchez, Mkhitaryan, Martinez turns Bastoni!
It's another one of those chances that goes by the wayside. Again, it's movement of the goalkeeper. If Takaki can just stay level, he might be able to unseat Mestre here, but Mestre's given away a cheap free kick.
He has, and with no minutes added on in stoppage time, surely you'd have to imagine this will be the last action of this first half. Hanulu looking towards the head of Sanchez, far post, and well, a more attritional affair, Wes, as we're both on our feet now.
I know. I just felt out of place. I felt like you know, I needed to give you something. I felt like it.
Maybe you're just not used to me being taller.
That was also it. That was also
about the same height. But
I'm sure my nieces will be asking me why I shrank when I got home.
Maybe we need to get the measuring stick out. So I think maybe you have an inch or two in height-wise on me, but 1-0, just 1-0 in the first half. There were chances though, both sides. This is less of a sort of gung-ho affair than we saw in our first group stage match, and maybe some of the nerves coming into it after watching that first match, being 4-4, knowing the points are shared and the group as it stands is up for grabs.
Yeah, it's become a real chess match.
Oh, Thuram! Mestre straight away doubles Thuram's account to start the second half and put himself 2 to the good now. Takaki right up against the ropes.
Yeah, that was as route one as you could possibly get there. Knocked down from Thuram, and it seemingly is the way forward with this Inter side, is that Marcus Thuram appears to be that almost that lightning rod that from previous club finals, we've either seen Lewandowski or Harry Kane, or a player of physicality, especially in this type of mode and this type of setup, where you're able to just physically knock it down, and it really opens up your avenues as to how you can attack. Mestre, 2 goals ahead here now, fine form from the Spaniard.
Well, fine form indeed. 2-goal cushion against an opponent as formidable as Takaki. He's very, very valuable indeed. And you're right, the best and most efficient tactic available, we've seen it in seasons past for this Inter squad, is get it to that target man, try and knock it down, and Thuram and Sanchez combining really well, and that's a fully outstretched Sommer there.
Brilliant save, but it's really good ball movement there from Mestre. You'll see it again here, just pauses, takes a step over, pauses back in 1-2, and it's just one outstretched paw from Jan Sommer. And that was all that delayed Mestre from making this 3-0.
Chance from the corner maybe. Headed down to Sanchez and again to Dumfries, but that's quite far out to be trying a headed chance.
Still time on the clock here for Takaki. If he can get one back in the next, I don't know, 10 or 15 in-game minutes, it may cause Mestre a bit of a problem, but Mestre, as we said, is a very cool customer, even under pressure.
He is. He's passed the defensive test of Takaki so far, but it's interesting that you say that, Wes, because maybe Takaki knows there's time still on the clock. No pause queued up, no changes so far. Really quite confident in how the game is going, what his game plan is. And of course, you have to imagine that, again, with the depth of talent that Inter has to offer, maybe there's some players waiting on the sub-bench to make an impact, and maybe that's the game plan for Takaki. He's got defending to do, though, as Mestre comes forward. Defended well that time.
Certainly, if you're looking at kind of players that might be a bit of a lightning rod, yes, you've got Marcus Thuram. Of course, just on the bench, just lurking is the Mercurial Marko Arnautovic, who is a bit of a chaos merchant, to say the very least.
Speaking of chaos, that's given away by Mestre. Martinez beats his man and gets his strike away. And what a strike it is as well. Unbelievable, and you called for it, Wes. A goal in the next 15 in game, caused by a little bit of chaos. Sees Takaki right back in contention. What a hit.
So one step away from his defender, did Lautaro Martinez, and then he thundered it home with the right boot. But again, it came from a bit of poor play by Mestre. Gets it out to his right back, doesn't really get that passing and possession game going. As a result, gives it away. And as you saw, perfect camera angle there. There's an avenue to just find that strike into the back of the net. Crucially now, and here we go. Here is the pause that I think we were all kind of maybe anticipating here. As you can see as well, also some of these cards have got their boosters on as well, so it doesn't impact their in-game stats. Hence why you're seeing a 101 rated Lautaro Martinez. Do not adjust your sets, folks. That is a legitimate rating of Lautaro Martinez. But looking at how these changes are going to come in, I do wonder what we're going to see here, because with Mestre, if you change it now, you maybe are conceding the fact that you need to go a bit more defensive, but Mestre's game plan normally isn't that of being defensive minded. He likes to be on the front foot, likes to score goals. Takaki, on the other hand, has a little bit of a free hit because he's extended that period. It's almost like a pit stop in a race. He's extended his squad a little bit past where you would say the golden time is to make those substitutions, and now he has an even fresher set of legs to come on against what will be a tiring backline of Mestre, and it'll just be a case of who's going to do the damage. Is it going to be Mestre's substitutes, or is it going to be Takaki's?
That's the question, because it's a good point that you raise. The virtual battery, so to speak, of these players definitely will, well, given that both players don't have made substitutions to this point, it's definitely going to lead to, no doubt, an action-packed final 20 in-game minutes. It's Arnautovic that has come on for Takaki, watching his changes come to fruition.
He's also come on for Mestre as well.
One to look out for on both sides for now. Mestre, no doubt, will be slightly aggrieved having conceded last, and Cuadrado has found some nice space in the box here. Barella to Martinez, tries to dummy it around the defence.
Thuram's on for Takaki as well. That will be very much alarm bells if I were Mestre, because we've already seen the damage he can do for Mestre. You're going to put a fully charged up Marcus Thuram against a bit of a tiring backline from Inter's point, or from his perspective. It could cause real problems down the stretch.
Speaking of, we are approaching that final 10 on the in-game clock. As it stands, Mestre 2, Takaki 1. Both men's first match here in the group stages. 3 points up for grabs as things stand. Put Mestre well and truly in the driver's seat.
Also saw there was a latest score as well. Nerazzurri 1 goal ahead in the mobile platform, so he's top of that table as it stands.
It's the fun part about these club finals, we get to see both platforms in action. For now, here on the console, we have a true nail-biter. Mestre looking to defend. A slender goal advantage. Lovely play from Takaki, but Quadrado can't take it neatly within his stride. It's a good period of play from Takaki, but there's Mestre men pouring forward. Damian able to head it back into midfield, but it's only towards the danger. Barea here for Mestre. Smartly towards the corner, try and just eke out some of this remaining clock, and I think he's won himself a free kick as well, Wes. That is very valuable at this stage of the match. Yeah, 2-1 up as well.
In that type of real estate, that's exactly where you want to be when the time is ticking down. If you are Mestre, critically, he'll keep the ball here.
You'd have to imagine with no real chance left, it will be Mestre, the veteran of this style of competition, able to take the 3 points away from Japan's Takaki, leaving the man from Japan with all to do here at the group stages, Wes. It didn't go right for him back in Barcelona. It's not the ideal start either.
It isn't the ideal start, but you can only imagine that he might have learnt lessons, and that's the only thing, especially if you are, kind of from a Takaki point of view, that's realistically what you're trying to learn here, is say, hey, actually, I need to up my game now, because again, Barcelona was obviously, we had Jxmkt and we had Footy for Seal 10 that were in the finals.
Yeah, the eventual champion.
The eventual champion. And it's like, you've now stepped into a group where you've got Mestre and you've got Safe and you've got Isco as well, who's returning as well. It's almost as like it's a harder group than what it was in Barcelona. So he's got some work to do.
I think Takaki, as we look over some of the highlights, will be a little disappointed, not only how he started the second half with conceding this goal, but the fact that he conceded 2 without really solidifying any chances of his own. I think he'll be disappointed with that, and maybe that'll be a lesson he tries to take going forward. I mean, he can't afford really to drop many more points in his 2 remaining group games.
No, and that's it, is that if you put yourself at a loss, although I would say, though, the only thing that he really has to latch onto is the fact that the other game finished in a draw. So he's only realistically got to pull himself into a second place berth. But it'll be remain to be seen whether he can, and more importantly, it'll be remain to be seen who's going to really break out. Because yes, Mestre has got those 3 points, but still got to go up against Safe, still got to go up against Isco, and we've seen already the powers that they possess.
Yeah,
it's only going to be drama, is what I can only imagine it's going to be from here on in.
I mean, that's what I love, as we see Mestre take the 3 points. This club finals, probably the toughest competition we've seen so far, the closest knit competition. We can see it in the results. I mean, unbelievable game just then.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had 2 unbelievable games to really sink our teeth into, and I'm sure that more are to come. By the way, if we take a look at what happened in parallel over on the mobile platform, well, it was another victory there as well. And I tell you what, Nerazzurri is reigning supreme so far. Yes, go ahead, brush it off.
I like that.
He's quite happy with this pick so far, but at least we've got a leader on the board here in this group so far. It is the Japanese man who has got 3 points on the board. The Brazilian, however, will have to make up some lost ground as he sits behind Jxmkt and Habachazoro. So we'll see how that one plays out next. It's going to be an interesting game there. We're going to be switching over to mobile next, so we'll actually be able to watch and see how that one plays out. It is going to be the first time for us today that we get to see these mobile finalists in action. How do you see it playing out? That we got Jxmkt with 1 point on the board and the Japanese man leading the way.
I think for both group stages, it's the best possible outcome from the first heat, just because when the competition is so close-knit, you don't want just two players running away with immediate 3 points. You have one player that is in the lead that can kind of be looking back and saying, oh, I've got people breathing down my neck here.
Absolutely.
But then the rest of the pack knows they have to go and get results. So it sets us up perfectly on both platforms. Mobile especially, seeing how many goals scored on the console side of things, whereas mobile, we know there are lots of chances, but you have to take them when they come. With the interplayers, could be lots of entertainment.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I alluded to earlier, it's that South East Asian derby that I very much been looking forward to. So I'm very much happy that is our next game on the stream. But looking at the table, it's still. I know I said, after the first round of fixtures you'd know, but in reality, it's still really delicately poised, which is great.
But I tell you what, so far they actually mirror each other. The only difference is that you have two players in console who have been scoring back loads of goals so far, compared to just the mobile, where it is still very relatively low scoring, marginal win so far in that second fixture. We'll see if more goals are to come then, because now, of course, that's where all eyes are going to be headed. So let's get ready for Jxmkt against Rei Noguchi on mobile.
I'm Jxmkt from Thailand. I'm really happy and excited for this tournament. I hope you will try to watch and cheer for me. I really want to show my gameplay. See you.
Hello everyone, I am Gu Osaya Games, a Japanese eFootball player and a representative of East Asia. I'm happy to be able to play in the finals of the club I have admired since I was a little. I hope you will root for me.
Well, thanks to Shemra as always, getting us exactly where we need to be, Wes, which is starting our next heat of games. We now move over to mobile. We saw in the group tables relatively low scoring. You have to say a lot of that has to do with the fact that the games generally are shorter here on this platform. We're hoping we see plenty of chances taken here, because there's nothing like a good fast-paced mobile game. That's one thing we've learned from the club event finals so far this season.
Yeah, although the games are shorter, by no means is there less drama involved in what we have seen already.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen penalty shootouts, we've seen extra time, we've seen all of it, we've seen chances go by the wayside, and we've seen just how quickly this game can move on mobile. And of course, interestingly in this group stage, of course, Jxmkt has 1 point. Rei Noguchi has 3. He can really put himself on the hill here if he can come away with a victory.
That is a big if. And we're underway between Jxmkt, we'll just call him Jxmkt, and GU038 Games, who we will of course be calling Rei Noguchi. Will be Jxmkt from Thailand, 22 years old, in that Inter home strip we know so well. Those classic colours, and it will be Rei Noguchi with the changed white strip, and it's his chance that happens early on. 5 minutes gone, and Rei Noguchi from Japan not only has the first chance, but still has the ball attacking here as well. Quadrado. Back to Pavar, and here's Mkhitaryan. Tries the 1-2, but Jxmkt able to survive. And what can he do here as Mkhitaryan, I think, is offside? He is indeed, but 15 minutes gone, Wes. We've had threatening chances both ends.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we certainly look up at the top left-hand side of the screen when we do get back to it in terms of how quickly the time has gone by already in this game. We say it so often with these club finals in terms of how quickly it moves, but you can already see here just the tinkering of formations already. You can see almost moving up to a 4-2-4, which is incredibly aggressive if that's where it sits for what we can see on our screen, I mean, yes, you have to be aggressive. Yes, you've got to be front foot, because again, once you get your opportunity, you can, you're able to then cue the pause menu, and then you can kind of switch back. That's kind of should be the modus operandi, as we'll see here. But interesting, I did a spot of mobile gaming yesterday, and I only have a greater appreciation for our mobile competitors, because it is very hard indeed, especially when you've got fat thumbs like myself.
Maybe we keep you with the controller firmly in your hands, Wes, as that was Jxmkt's tactics we got to see being tweaked there, an early tweak in formations, and you'd have to say, just because of how much shorter the mobile games tend to be, or rather in actuality are, because that clock does tick quite fast, you do tend to see more formation changes, more tactical changes, because, well, to use a bit of a cheesy phrase, every chance counts, as Gucci gives the ball away. Chalhanulu here, and Martinez playing a little game between themselves. Finally out now to Cuadrado, and that is in from Thuram. Great header as Jxmkt, just 22 years old, takes the lead just before the half-hour mark.
Stunning cross into the box. It was a great header at the near post, and again, it's that man Marcus Thuram, who's been a target man on console, on mobile, certainly is the go-to for these competitors here. It's a great ball in for Cuadrado, beats the block, and it's a wonderful header near post. Sommer just can't get down to it, and he used the pace of the ball brilliantly there, and Jxmkt finds himself a goal ahead.
1-0. As Jxmkt looks to join his countryman Talanasui, who's already qualified for the World Finals for FC Bayern at that Tokyo tournament later on in the summer. Starting off his group stage campaign pretty well, as Thuram bags his second. It's a 1-2 punch. Just, what's that, 5 or so in-game minutes between the two goals. It's a brace in the first half. Wonderful finish.
You see it here again. Great ball movement. Again, it's that 1-2. To steal your phrase of it being a 1-2 punch, it's a 1-2 pass that really kind of breaks open this defence. We'll see it here again. First time pass. Martinez back into Thuram. Thuram coolly slots it home for 2-0.
I think that's the right adjective, Wes. It was a cool finish. To put the Thailand representative a 2-goal advantage onto the board. Five to go till half-time. Martinez just feeds it to the opposition. And so far, Jxmkt has been well in control of our first mobile match on stream here. Just 2 minutes added on by the referee's assistant, and that will go by, well, as quick as a flash. The mobile console very fast, and that's what is so impressive about that first half performance. Very few chances come on the mobile platform. When they come, you have to take them.
Absolutely, indeed. You asked for it. You asked for goals. You asked for chances. And within a very short 45 in-game minutes, 2 goals to 0 for Jxmkt. Again, a great start for him. But again, critically now at half-time, he could potentially move these kind of chess pieces back into the place where he wants them to be. Again, you can see on your screens a 5-3-2. You can still see that there's a 4-2-4 in there. Again, you can just see these just little tweaks of like player roles. Again, that can sometimes activate different play styles or different player skills that these cards have. Sometimes you can have box to box, you can have orchestrator, you can have all different types of players. And not to mention, of course, as well, these players have literally the entire fcinter database to hand,
Yep.
which is a very, very potent weapon,
pretty
because
useful.
they will have gone through and researched what works and what doesn't.
Absolutely. As we kick off the second half of what is these players' second match here in the mobile group stages. Jxmkt in the home strip with defending to do here against Reinaguchi. Man from Japan able to win the ball back, and Sanchez can't feed it around the corner. I will say, for maybe the 100th time this season, love that we have the mobile platform, because it opens our eyes up, Wes, to a different style of eFootball, and I'll come back to that as Reinaguchi might just have a chance. It's not just a different style with how tactical and how clinical these players have to be. You can see a pause queued up, no doubt from a man trailing 2-0. But also the different regions, as Mkhitaryan and Sanchez takes a strike from distance off of the frame of the goal.
Keeper nearly fell asleep there looking for that, but you're quite right. It opens us up to different regions. It opens us up to different play styles, and you know, at a push, really, it almost behaves like a completely different game on mobile, because you kind of have a little bit less control. You have to be a bit more decisive with your chances. You can't really super cancel. You can't do as many things as you can do.
It's a good ball round the corner to Mkhitaryan, and Martinez is in the box and converts the strike. And just before the pause, Reinaguchi gets the goal he's looking for. We said at the top of the show, Wes, not a single Japanese representative qualified for the World Final so far, which is, from our point of view, very surprising. Reinaguchi has got a goal back in this one.
It's certainly much game on with the last 20 or so in-game minutes, but again, with how quickly that this pace turns with this game, you're gonna have to get that ball back pretty quickly, and then you're gonna have to distribute it pretty quickly as well.
Yeah.
Again, if Jxmkt decides that he wants to go and play possession football, game could be closed out pretty quickly here.
Could well be. I mean, we just saw in the console match previous how well Mestre was able to really nullify the clock at the end of the game. With mobile can be a little bit different. We saw at the Bayern finals, of course, that these players have microfiber cloths. Thumbs can get sweaty.
Yep.
You never know what
You never
happens
quite
here.
know. And again, as I experienced yesterday, if your thumb is to slip on your mobile device and you input a wrong input, you can be toast pretty quickly.
So, the Thai representative here has his advantage cut in half. Reinaguchi
Substitution in progress.
is just a goal behind now. We're into the final 10 in-game minutes, and Mkhitaryan, well, he's in behind, has a man for company, but it doesn't matter, Wes. It does not matter at all. There is the equaliser, and all of a sudden, as things stand, the points are shared, but we've got 10 in-game minutes to go. It's anyone's game.
That is a phenomenal goal. Again, to get that right amount of pace on the ball for Mkhitaryan to be able to run onto it. We'll see it again here. It's good build-up here, gets it into that front man, and then it's the first time pass there from, I believe it is Alexis Sanchez. And he gets a little bit of fortune, gets the shot off, even though De Vrij is just trying to cover it. We'll probably see a better angle of it here. See again, Mkhitaryan running in here. I don't believe that's De Vrij cover. You see there, just tries to stick a foot in, but he can't get the right contact on it. And the shot follows through and wins out, and it's 2-2 here in very short order.
Yeah, do not adjust your sets. It is 2-2.
I was going to say, I looked at the corner and I said, did we get that wrong? It is 2-2.
2-2, and this club event finals, every single one that we go to, obviously there's so much on the line because players try and compete for their favourite clubs. There's you know, favourite clubs, both in the game, allegiances outside the game, but every single one just seems to top the last in terms of the quality of gameplay we see.
It does. It seemingly the quality gets better and better as time goes on. It doesn't seem to be stopping here either.
Reinaguchi looking to try and make the ultimate comeback. Just 5 in-game minutes to go now. Plus stoppages, of course. What can Jxmkt do on the other side? There's been, I don't want to use the term a passenger here in the second half, but that chance, lack thereof, won't do him any favours. This might though. Çalhanoğlu. Pavard out on the right. Back to the Turk, inside to Barea and Fratesi and Sanchez and Arnautovic! Oh, the last kick of the game! He was leading for the vast majority of it. And after the equaliser, reinstates his lead. It's heartbreaking.
It's that chaos merchant Marko Arnautovic. Again, it was really good build-up here. You'll see it again. Just builds up, builds up, builds up. Looks for that 100% opportunity. Rolls the ball into the corner of the net. And that is game over. That has got to be game over. A kick-off. It was ticked into the 93rd minute. It was 3 minutes added time. And that surely is the last kick of the game. What a dramatic winner.
We'll see how kind the referee decides to be. The answer is not kind at all to Reinaguchi anyway. What a fabulous game. Probably the highest scoring mobile game I think we've seen throughout our club event finals, at least on the stream, Wes. Ends in a tremendous result for our Thai representative. I mean, an incredible performance by Jxmkt. He takes 3 points, but 5 goals. Unbelievable.
And tell you what, Reinaguchi will probably be thinking to himself, I had him, and I could have finished him off, but in reality, it was. I do like the reaction cams because we've been doing that pretty much all of the club finals, and I'm very glad to see that it is getting picked up because, again, behind the screen, we are essentially fans of watching these types of games and watching the esports and bringing that commentary to you. And that was thoroughly entertaining from start to finish. It really was, because again, it was great ball movement and it was just able to just find those finishes. And at 2-0 down, you thought, Reinaguchi, it's done and dusted, there's no way back. But it showed some powers of recovery, did the man from Japan. You see the first goal goes in there.
Tidy finish.
Tidy finish. And we even said, if he's going to get one more, he's going to need to get the ball back and he's going to need to do something with it very quickly. And but all he did here was 9 in-game minutes later, gets himself the equaliser. As we'll see it here, you'll see it again. It's just, again, good ball movement, gets it into Mkhitaryan. It's Pavard on the cover. He just can't get his foot in the way. I'm just blown away by what we've seen. And then this here, I mean, I did not know where to put myself. I can see it. You almost have that sixth sense of it's coming. And then when it happens, you're just like, well, I don't know what to say here. It's a last-minute winner.
It's difficult to say, and you're right in saying, Semra, we've been having those reactions all season because the club event finals are just bringing a different level out of these competitors on both platforms.
I was going to say, I mean, I know he's speechless, but quite frankly, this is turning out to be an epic final.
This is brilliant. Yeah. So good.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, better, I think, than we could have hoped for, quite frankly, and I think more obviously is to follow suit. Let's just take a quick look at what happened over on console, because now this is when we switch places and we were able to actually watch what's happening in the mobile world. But here in console, we see that Mestre lost to Saif Al-Hakka 55. Wow. Yeah, that's quite a surprise, isn't it? So things are really, really tight in this group. I believe it's going to be the Jordanian who currently leads with 4 points.
That's correct.
That means that Mestre follows in second. Here we go with 3. Isco just the 1, and Takaki still has to make up quite a lot of lost ground here if he wants to get out of the group.
At this point, every game becomes a must-win for Takaki.
But I tell you what, look, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Mobile, again, it's still continuing to mirror, at least in terms of points. It's absolutely fascinating.
It has not disappointed thus far. I think the benefit for Takaki is he gets to play Isco next, and yeah, sure, Isco is in fine scoring form, but Takaki, arguably, has had to play his toughest opponent first in Mestre, and honestly, it wasn't too far away, so you're absolutely right, Semra. Both groups just wide open.
Yeah, for Takaki, he doesn't need to go and reinvent the wheel all that much, because in reality, he was one goal away from getting on and getting a draw out of Mestre. So, yeah, you're quite right. If you get your hardest opponent out of the way, it can maybe grease the wheels a little bit and just make it slightly easier to get back into the group.
Just a final thought, let's shine a light on this next game, because as we've just seen in the group here, Habachazoro and player 227, the third and fourth, they do have to close that gap. We could see a potential new leader in the group by the end of this match. How do you see it playing out, guys?
It's a really good question, because we have essentially here a bit of youth versus experience. We have Prince Yadav, aka Bashazoro, 18 years of age, is obviously a promising young newcomer from India. On the other side, player 227, Rafael Mendonca, I think he's 32, 33 years of age. There's definitely wisdom and experience on one side. We'll have to see who can play beyond their years, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, as to kind of go to Semra's points from previous club finals, it's that, you know, the joints and the thumbs, can they move a bit quicker with an 18-year-old versus a 33-year-old?
Telepathy, man. I swear I was just thinking the same thought, and I was going to bring that up, so I'm glad that you did.
I thought I felt something go across my head right there. I felt something in the
He's
air.
picking up on the radio frequencies, but he's just not quite sure how to interpret it.
That's me in a nutshell.
All right, well, let's leave you to it then. Our fourth match of the day is going to be Habachazoro against player 227. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Prince Yadav, or you can also say Habachazoro. I am from country India and I am going to represent my country in Inter Milan Club final event. I am very excited and happy too, but I am going to give my best in this event and will try to win it. Thank you.
Olá, sou o player 227, Rafael Mendonça, meu nome. Estou representando o Brasil nessa competição da Konami. Espero fazer grandes jogos e sair vencedor. Abraço a todos.
Well, both players, Wes, with aspirations as we get an extra prolonged look at Rafael Mendonca there, player 227. Both have aspirations of representing Inter at the World Finals. Where they sit in the group currently, third and fourth position, all of a sudden this becomes almost a knockout game.
It does, and again, I hate to be the kind of almost the party pooper here, but you have to feel as though if you don't win this game, you're in very short order of going out. And again, we've seen in previous club finals in terms of the fact that, you know, the boffins behind the scenes, as we call them, have had to maybe take a look and see how many goals are scored and what goal differences are. I think for these players, they all want to just take that completely out of the equation and just want to qualify with just on points.
Well, thank goodness for the boffins and thank goodness for more mobile action. We do have player 227 taking on Habachazoro. It will be the Brazilian player 227 in the home strip. His opponent, though, has a good chance to open our scoring early on in a similar vein as we saw in the previous mobile game, around the same in-game time. Instead, Quadrado here for the Brazilian, and Chalhanulu has a strike blocked inside the opening 10 in-game minutes here. Delicately poised here in the mobile group. Both players searching for a win, which hopefully should give us an open game as Chalhanulu tries to strike from outside the box, unable to beat the goalkeeper on that occasion.
It's ambitious to try it from there. Very rarely have we seen a shot from outside the box in mobile. We'll see these chances where players are looking to try and really kind of ticky-tacker their way into the box and really kind of narrow down those opportunities. Mkhitaryan trying to throw that one in, and it's over the bar from Çalhanoğlu.
Yeah, sneaky strike here from Çalhanoğlu. His runs from deep are something we've seen for Inter, both on the console and now the mobile as well. Clearly a defined game plan we've seen from the likes of Mestre. Get it to the byline, see if you can find the Turk, who does have a venomous strike on him, as well as being very important on set pieces, but with just 1 point and 0 points between these two. Again, we have to really pinpoint the fact that this is a must-win game. You're almost threatened to fall off of the pace if you don't pick up any points at all here.
Yeah, and a draw doesn't really do all that much for you either, so that's why we're kind of labelling this as a must-win, folks, because, again, if you have the 1 point, you boost yourself up to potentially be in that conversation for top two. If you're on 0 points, you give yourself a fighting chance of having a last game kind of scenario where you can maybe get through. That's why it is so important that these points are taken by somebody.
We will see who will be the victor, if any, at the end of 90. To start off the game, player 227 has had some good chances and possession. What can the young man from India do? Habachazoro here with Çalhanoğlu, and he's gone for a long-range strike. And we said, Wes, that often that's not the best route to take for mobile, but what do we know? That is from downtown and then some to take the lead. 1-0.
That is from a different area code. What a strike that is. And again, it's the dip and it's finding the corner. We'll see it again here. It was the dip and it just bounces just before it gets towards where the goalkeeper is. We'll see it again here. And again, as a player that you want on it, Çalhanoğlu is that guy. Finds a beautiful ball in. The goalkeeper's a bit slow to get down. We'll see it again once more. Cheeky layoff there. Çalhanoğlu sets himself and then just finds it into the bottom corner. The goalkeeper is a little bit left flat-footed, and as a result, there's a goal to nil lead here for Zorro.
Indeed, Habachazoro. You could argue against the run of play as player 227, Rafael Mendonça has been, at least territorially and possession-wise, been in pretty good form in this game in the first half. That'll be something to keep an eye on. Can he keep his frustrations in check here? Mkhitaryan. Pass is no good, and well, look who's out on that far side on the counter-attack. The link-up play, that time insufficient. And we're seeing a bit of end-to-end eFootball. Mkhitaryan, half-time approaching, by the way. Çalhanoğlu's already scored up the other end.
There will be 1 minute added time.
Yeah, trying to complete the 1-2 to the aforementioned Turk, but it is that man who scored for Prince Yadev, just 18 years of age, hailing from India, our Asia West regional winner, Wes. In a must-win scenario, this is the type of game, if you can win it, sets you up really well for the rest of the competition here today.
Yeah, absolutely. And in a game which we've described as must-win, should I say, the old adage goes, a fortune favours the brave. He was very brave to take that strike on, but as we said, that these players will have been well drilled, shall we say, on what these players are capable of, and that's certainly not going to be something he's just thought of on the fly.
Oh, what a way to start the second half here! As we're singing his praises, the 18-year-old from India doubles the advantage. A dream way to start the second half. It's 3 passes in behind, 2-0.
So direct, and again, we talk about kick-off scenarios and about being switched on and to try and, resolve those issues of defensive frailties. It didn't matter for Prince Yadav, beg your pardon, he manages to stuck that away for 2-0. Although, a word to the wise, we just saw a 2-goal lead. And we know that it is very much doable now on the mobile platform, that lead can be scythed into.
You're absolutely right, and it's going to take some wisdom, some bravery from the 33-year-old America's regional winner. Player 227, some good build-up play, stopped for a second. Calhanoglu. Just can't find that bit of clinical passing and final product in that final third. Cuadrado waiting as he stayed on side. Won't matter as Turan cannot latch onto that one.
For this match was 72,306.
Calhanoglu now. Lovely ball to Martinez, but the control just let him down, allowed Bastoni to walk through the door that was opened. Barea though, just waiting for possession to settle down either side. Just goes to show the game plan and mentality from these two. Calhanoglu, Mkhitaryan, Martinez with the strike! And there is the answer back that we wanted. Time still on the clock here for player 227 to keep his group stage life alive. Cuts the lead in halfways. Great strike, so much power. 2-1.
Bit of Groundhog Day for me here, I think. It's just before 70 minutes. There's one back in the game. I think we've seen this before somewhere, I think. Have we not? But again, wonderful finish there from Rafael Mendonca. As she said, just that composure, just keeping his cool. And again, there is almost that deja vu feeling that we've got here, is that now we're kicking into game plans where game plans weren't really being asked for previously.
This is the type of game I love.
Yes, absolutely.
And we've seen two of them back to back. We've already seen what's happened in the previous game. The question is, can Prince Yadav Habocciazoro, can he hold his nerve here with the amount of implications that this game alone has on the group table? It's poised on a knife edge, on a needle point, if you will, and if you want to represent this great club, you have to come through with resiliency in these types of situations. Can you hold your nerve? Can you steady yourself? And can you push forward and get the result you need? I
think that is where we're at right now, is that whether these two players at both ends of this, whether they can show their personalities, as it were, because you know, you need to have that perseverance, you need to have that resiliency to go, okay, I was 2 goals down, but I can get this back. But also, you need to have the presence of mind now, if you've got that lead, to go, hey, actually, I already got my 2 goals. I can kind of relax and just get back into natural flow of things. It's going to be a fascinating last period of this game between these two.
Substitution in progress.
Subs have been made, tactics changed. It's the home strip that needs the goals, and Turan has turned his man. That's a great save. Danger not cleared. Finally is now. It'll come right back at our Indian representative here. DiMarco, though, defensively just relieves the pressure slightly, but that's given away a little bit too early for my liking. Martinez. Player 227. Just looking for a bit of territory here, and that's actually a really good ball around the corner to Lautaro Martinez. This one could put the game to bed! And it has! Habocciazoro! Prince Yadav, 18 years old. The promising young newcomer said he would try and win. He's excited and happy to have reached this stage. Looks to keep his life alive. 3-1, final 10 in-game minutes, whereas you have to say this one might just put a bow on it.
It might just indeed. It's a wonderful ball that just curves around the back line. Lautaro Martinez not going to be caught at that stretch. And again, scratch what I said about Groundhog Day, folks. This is not what we have just seen. This is what we are going to see from Prince Yadav. Wonderful bit of play. 3-1 here. And you'd say with the time ticking down, he may just take this one away.
Player 227 needs an immediate reply, just looking at the clock and basic mathematics as Sanchez snatches a shot. Turan with the header, that is very tame. You've made the signal, Wes, you think it's all over.
I think so. I think after that one chance, had it have gone in, would have been a different question entirely.
Oh, that's another great ball to Martinez here, has another chance, and it's off the frame. I don't think Sommer got a touch, did he? We'll see it again here, but that's 2 back-to-back balls through to Martinez that have been right on the money.
Yeah, it's a very viable tactic from what we are seeing here from Prince Yadav. Very much a viable tactic. Get it out into the left-hand side, curve a ball around the back line and really cause problems.
Sadly, that time around, Martinez's control was not enough, but it won't make a difference to the final result. Match 4 ends in a convincing 3-1 fashion. Habacha Zoro, well, he's done very well to keep his account going here in the group stages. We'll be able to see how the group as a whole stands once we are able to get Samra back in the fold, but for now, well, actually, I think that we can take a look at some of the results now from the mobile group stages, Wes. And I mean, mathematics not my strong suit. This is why I always leave it to the boffins. But for now, 4 goals between those two. The 3 points and 3 of those goals go back to India.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a great performance from Prince Yadav. Again, just the presence of mind to take the opportunity. I'm just dumbfounded that that's gone in. I almost have to give subtitles to these clips.
I love Wezercam, by the way. Wezercam every single week.
Wezercam is almost becoming now a staple of this, just because again, we see here as well. Again, you just saw just the presence of mind, gets the ball in, and it just pushed. Just after half time, manages to get that goal. And again, looking at it from here, again there was one coming back. And again, the thumbs come up from me because I'm thinking, he might have this. He might be able to get back into this.
One thing I want to pick up on, though, Wes, is we just see player 227's goal, which was, again, a lifeline at that point of the game. Plenty of the second half still to play. This pass into Martinez, another one followed it. Difficult to execute on mobile. It's easy for us to sit here with our console brains, but thinking how difficult that is to execute on the mobile, the fact that it's done twice in quick succession from Habacha Zoro. Fantastic show of skill from the Indian.
Absolutely, and again, it's to get the ball into the path of a player, much like you see in real football. You don't want a pass that's gone just behind or too far in front. You want to hit it, as you said, right on the money, right in that sweet spot where they can carry it in stride. And as we saw from Martinez, my arms went behind my head going, he's one-on-one, he can't miss. He scored. Brilliant.
Some great chances, and unfortunately for player 227, his favourite player is Lautaro Martinez, and scored against him a few times today. So, yeah.
And even more unfortunate, if my maths are correct, I think he's headed home. I think he's the first one who's going to be bowing out today after 2 losses on the board. I think there's just not enough room for him to actually make up that lost ground points-wise. So unfortunately, we will have to be saying goodbye to him, as he will not be making it out of the group stage. But let's take a look at what's going on over on the console side of things. We can have a look at that result that just played out between Isco and Takaki. And what do you know? Your man from Japan, he got those 3 points. That keeps him in contention. And so a big win for him, obviously very important, at least in terms of points-wise, what that will do to the league table. Why don't we have a quick look then and see how things are shaping up between those 2 groups. And there you have it. It's very tight indeed in both sides, even still after 4 matches. It's too close to call. We don't have an assured winner to go through to the final round as of yet, and we only do have 1 departure so far, which is the Brazilian player 227 over mobile. So it's still down to 7 different finalists, you guys.
That's ridiculous to think about going into the final heat of our group stage games. I mean, Takaki, both his games so far been 2-1, obviously losing to Mestre, but then winning his last game against Isco. that's how close and nail-biting he wants to make it for the Japanese audience watching. He obviously has quite a big backing, but he's putting them through the ringer at the moment, staying alive for now.
Just a bit. It's a real big lifeline. That result against Isco, it's a real big lifeline for Takaki. And again, I think looking at what we've got coming up next is going to be...
It's the two front runners.
It's the two front runners there. And again, I wouldn't like to be the boffins. That's all I'm saying. I would not like to be the boffins because that goal difference and those points, I'll let them figure it out.
It's not good for you, man, Mestre.
It isn't actually, no, is it?
No, it really isn't.
It's a good point.
It looks like he might be falling by the wayside here. This next match is going to be crucial because it could be a group decider.
Yeah, and again, it will also depend on what the result is on the other side, and there's all of those permutations. So that's what I'm saying. Thankfully, I am not the one working this out, folks.
All right, well, let's go to it then. We've got currently number 1 and number 2 in the Konsa group. It's going to be Saif Al-Haka 55 against Takaki.
Yes, thank you, Semra. We will resume our positions, slowly rise with us,
everybody.
because no doubt we're about to see a real clinic on display here, because I think Semra described it perfectly. This is now a situation where both players are not assured to be in that knockout stage final.
Yeah, and not to mention as well the way that the scheduling works here is that we have one game that's on console and one game that's happening on mobile at the same time, which means that actually Mestre and Isco will both be watching this with very keen eyes before their game, because again, like I said, in terms of all of the different kind of workings out here, it could mean anything. I mean, if Saif Al-Haka wins this, then it opens the door for Mestre, and if Takaki wins this, it opens the door for Mestre again, and then but if it's a draw, then it opens up the door. There's so many different ways to this, folks. And like I said, I'm very thankful it's not me doing it.
Yes.
Very thankful.
I think we gave it a go a couple of weeks ago. And
we just about got it right on that occasion, but then I think we just waited for our production team to give us the nod on what is the deciding results here.
But either way, final group stage match for both Saif Al-Haka 55 and Takaki. The latter from Japan will be in the home strip on the ball now. Of course, the changed away strip will be the other side, and Sanchez can try and find Martinez. That meets a defender, but Mkhitaryan is there. Lurking in the box inside the opening 5. It is Henrik Mkhitaryan for Takaki. 1-0 to the man from Japan, who realistically, to assure himself in that final later on, Wes, needs all 3 points.
Absolutely. Again, when we talk about obscure nations calling on one another, I can't remember the last time that I saw somebody from Japan call on an Armenian for their help, but my word, it has happened here today. It was a ricochet, goalkeeper's on the floor, it had to be tucked away, and again, as he said, chances like that fall at a premium at this level of the game. You cannot just let these chances go by, you have to finish them off, and smartly there as well. A tip of the hat there to Takaki to put it in the corner rather than trying to go back across to where there was a bunch of players and bodies to get through, and instead 5 in-game minutes on the clock here, and Takaki has himself a lead.
Yeah, really smart finish, and you're right, that's a type of chance that perhaps a stroke of luck is involved, but once it does land to your feet inside the opposition box, you need to make sure you execute. Takaki did just that, which, well, one way or another will spell the story for the rest of this game. Can Saif Al-Haka fashion a response? Barea with a cross towards Martinez! Oh! Yes, he can! There it is, Lautaro Martinez, just 6 in-game minutes later, issues the reply we were looking for.
Bit of fortune in it. You'll see it again here. Again, it's good work down the right-hand side. This part, totally deliberate, totally part of the skill of Saif. It's that tip from the goalkeeper. It's almost an alley-oop to Lautaro Martinez there. You'll see it again here from Sommer. Just tips it, just adjusts the trajectory of it, takes it away from Pavard at the back post, and instead lands into the path of Lautaro Martinez, who just tucks it into the one place that it can only be put into, and that's the back of the net. 1-1.
I didn't get quite a clear view of it on the replay, Wes, but you just have to wonder whether or not Sommer's intervention was maybe hurting the chances of preventing that being a goal. Either way, the goal has come and gone. 1-1 in the opening 15. We expected nothing less here at the fcinter Club Event Finals. Mkhitaryan here now for Takaki, into the box. Barea, Martinez, dummy, strike, save, and again! In fact, I think it's even off the frame this time, it is.
Huge chance there from Takaki, and again, really good work from him.
Two chances.
Two chances there, beg your pardon. But the two chances there have fallen by the wayside. Again, though, I will say this about Takaki. From what we know of the result in his game 2, and now seeing how he's playing in game 3, it's almost as though that confidence, that bit of, almost that puffing out the chest and bit of bravado to say, yeah, actually, I can do this. And certainly doesn't feel as though he is in awe of Saif Al-Haqa at the moment.
Well, Çalhanoğlu has Martinez in the box. Mkhitaryan was the idea. But you're right, after losing his opening group match against Mestre, 2-1 to the Spaniard, Takaki has weathered the storm of Isco, winning 2-1 on that occasion as well. And just had two very good chances. Al-Haqa, of course, goes without saying, would love to represent his country at the World Finals. Turan with the knock-on. Having a Jordanian representative would mean the world. On the ball now. Saif Al-Haqa looking to advance. Darmian, though, stands strong, and that's all he really needed to do. Takaki threads it towards Martinez. Darmian backs off, and is that to his peril? Mkhitaryan's there lurking again. And on the half-hour mark, Wes, one thing I'm intrigued to see is Takaki's utilisation of Mkhitaryan, because he seems to be just popping up in the right areas every time.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's certainly popping up right where he is required.
Good build-up play again. Here's the man with the cross along the floor that time. Very low cross, but intervention was needed. Çalhanoğlu. Not enough power, not nearly enough power there. Martinez just capitalising or trying to, after slow player switching from Saif Al-Haqa on the other side. In the end, defended well, and is there attack possibilities here for Saif Al-Haqa? Çalhanoğlu just entering a bit of a stalemate here towards the end of the first half. You wonder whether or not there's a bit of a breakthrough, and there's a missed touch there as Mkhitaryan, not for the first time this game here for Takaki. It's right at the keeper.
That was the chance.
Oh, that was the chance.
That was the chance. That just before half-time, that was such a really good opportunity. It was worked out there by Takaki. Just couldn't find the finish.
Starting to ramp up the pressure as the first half draws to a close here. The crowd waits to see the number to be held by the referee's assistant. Just the 1 minute added on. They are past the allotted time. Just a clearance needed here from Saif Al-Haqa, and not even that much. The referee's seen enough. 2 goals within the first 15 minutes, Wes. Since then has fizzled and
It's threatened to be another goal. It's Takaki that's really addressing the kind of the attacking questions here. He's made those opportunities. He's had 2 or 3. Hasn't been able to convert the second time I'm asking now. Is that going to play in his mind a little bit?
Well, the side swap for this second half. The kits, of course, remain the same. Saifal Hacker in the all-white. Takaki in the Inter home strip. Just had a quick glimpse, as you'd expect, Mkhitaryan in that AMF role for Takaki is definitely one to look out for. Saifal Hacker on the ball with Çalhanoğlu, and Martinez was lurking. Really important intervention inside the box, and recovers quite well in defensive duty as well. Thuram to Barrea, forces the save. Good save from Sommer, and it's out for a throw.
It's a big opportunity there for Saif to put himself in the driver's seat here, of course. Again, I'm not really sure if a draw is really going to be enough for either one of these two to really solidify, because again it probably more favours Saif as he's ahead in the table, but he'll want to try and box this off.
Head it down! Oh, fully stretched Sommer again is needed to prevent this one nestling in the back of the net.
Oh, the fingertips, the absolute fingertips there of Jan Sommer. Off his own line as well. That could have really been problematic had that dipped over the top of him.
Would have been a great finish really on the half volley. So often you see headers scored on the bounce, but good spell of pressure here for the opening 10 in game of the second half for Saifal Hacker. Beats his man as well with Cuadrado. Who can he find? Thuram! Oh, he's dragged it wide. He's dragged it wide, and that is a really, really good chance. And often you see Thuram bury those.
You absolutely do. Again, really good work there from Saif. I've seen it so many times where he just stalls putting the ball in and goes on a little bit of a dribble out on that right-hand side, and with that left stick dribbling can really unseat his opponent, and as we saw there, was able to get the ball into the box, just couldn't find the right finish.
Well, as we enter the business end of this game, Wes, tactical swaps to be made. We'll see where the plan B is for Takaki. Mkhitaryan has had some good spells. We've noted him cropping up on more than one occasion. Is there a plan B here for our Japanese representative here?
Well, I think for Takaki, I think to really kind of give himself the best opportunity to qualify here, he needs to get that second goal, and he's had the chances to do so. He just hasn't converted.
Oh, that's a ball though. Thuram, can he take it in his stride? The answer is no. But it's interesting, we saw against Mestre, Takaki happy to leave the game late on to use his subs, and oh, Song's almost made a bit of a hash of that one. Did leave it late on against Mestre to utilise his bench. Whether or not he will stick to that same tactic here against Saifal Hacker in this crucial final group game. Cuadrado for Saif. Cuadrado back heel, back to Barrea. That's a bit of a strike, but I think Wes, high wide, not very handsome.
Yeah, it was always going wide. It was always a bit of a chancer there from Saifal Hacker, but interestingly, the game plan part for me with Takaki is that we're seeing a lot from a lot of the players here today that Marcus Thuram starts the game. We're seeing that a lot from these players, whereas with Takaki, it's a case that Marcus Thuram comes off the bench. So maybe he's thinking that physicality in the latter stage of these games will probably prove to be more profitable, shall we say, in whether a case he can start to get knockdowns. We'll see that he's checking out his squad here and he's looking at all of these different options. You see that Pavard Dumfries coming in at a defensive midfield. There's some very interesting ploys here that I think some players at home may be looking at going, is that where you'd want him? And it's like, well, actually, that might be the case. You can see he's brought Klassen on. That seems to be a go-to substitution for him as well, taking off Barella. But crucially, Martinez still on the field. Thuram still on the field. Still players there, still weapons to utilise. It's just a case whether he can get that final touch.
Not for the first time today, I'm going to say I love these types of games. It's fun for us, sitting here, or rather standing here with cold blood, but for these players, they know if a chance falls to them, they have to take it. Saif Al-Hacker, unsuccessful on that attacking occasion, knocked down by Takaki. Thuram, who you rightly pointed out, Wes, introduce instead of getting the nod in the starting 11 for Takaki. We're approaching the final 20 in-game minutes, and the longer that clock ticks down, the more we might see each chance be pivotal. Thuram with the venomous strike there, right on the 70th minute of the match. This was a stunning strike and really the only option he had.
Yeah, he didn't have anybody else up with him there. It's a little bit on the break there. Gets the ball forward from Martinez, gets it into Thuram. And like you said, the only real option there was to shoot. Couldn't really turn back. So now he's got a corner with Kalanooglu. Plenty of targets.
Corner routines be very deadly for Inter so far in this club event. And Martinez has tucked it away! It's tucked away by Takaki! It's the goal he was searching for and the one he needed. We said when chances appear, Wes, they have to be taken. Takaki's done so. It's 2-1. And with 20 less than in-game minutes now, Takaki, has he just punched his ticket to the knockout stages later today?
You've got to feel for Saif there. You've got to feel it. It's an element of luck to it, without a doubt. Certainly, it's a good bit of play there to get the ball into that right place. When he gets that ball away with that defender, you can see that Saif's player is running off as if to be, well, I've got control of the ball. The reality is he doesn't, and it's 2 flicks. You can see the power gauges, they're so minute. It's 2 flicks of the controller, and Takaki has himself a 2-1 lead.
It's clinical. There's no other way around it.
You can see now, batten down the hatches.
Defence is the order of the day, and when we speak so often about the depth of this Inter squad, Martinez, when he gets that ball to his feet, the finish, first time, I believe it was outside of his boot, just poked it into the corner. When you have an asset like that, especially if you go on to represent Inter at the World Finals, it could be a really deadly matchup to come up against.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, he has a little bit of physicality with him. He has a bit of speed. He has a bit of dribbling. And more importantly, he has a fair amount of finishing. And again, it is a player that you don't really want to engage with, Lautaro Martinez. But certainly as well, having a running buddy in terms of Marcus Thuram with that physicality and that knockdowns and that ability to bring Lautaro Martinez into play, it's going to be a viable weapon for whoever the representatives are for FC Inter in Tokyo in the summer.
By the end of today, we will have 2 representatives. One for console, which both of these competitors are vying for. One for the mobile platform as well. And Takaki not content with sitting back here. As an attacking phase of play with Lautaro Martinez, just ran the ball out of play though. I think he was trying to beat the man and run down the byline, but just does too much.
Yeah, he just ran out of a little bit of real estate there. And you're quite right, he's just trying to left stick dribble, just try and beat the man so he's able to play that pass infield. Saif, of course, now potentially staring down the barrel of now being under threat. Such is how quickly this table and goals and points can change. It's now Saif who might be under a little bit of pressure there.
Especially with Mestre and Isco elsewhere still to play. 10 in-game minutes to go. You do not want to, if you are Saif Al-Hacker, Leave the fate of your competition in someone else's hands. After several weeks of competition, several phases, several stages of this competition to get this far. Leave it in the hands of a stranger. That's definitely not what you want. But Takaki. Chalhanoglu plays Taro Martinez around the corner. Who's he got up with him? Holds the ball up quite smartly. Chalhanoglu with the dummy, but Mkhitaryan now. Bring the ball away. Oh, almost snuck through to Arnautovic, threading the needle. Not quite.
Interestingly as well, if this result does remain like this, it also potentially brings Isco back into play as well. There's so many different ways that this can go.
Thank goodness for the boffins.
Yeah, that's what we are looking to find out, is that where this table will go. Or will we get a last minute equaliser?
Last chance saloon maybe. Quadrado just did not have the final product. All hands on deck in defence for Takaki. Quadrado to the byline. Darmian for company. Arnautovic blocked. Chalhanoglu away. Dumfries away. Martinez up in the air, but all of this is ticking time off the clock and he's given the ball away. And where will this go? Will there even be time left?
I don't think there will.
Once Summer kicks this ball, we're into the 6th of 5 added on, headed away by Takaki. And those are the 3 points the man from Japan needed. With his third 2-1 result here in the group stages, whereas Takaki will be featuring in the knockout stage final later on. The question is, who joins him?
What mettle shown by Takaki. Again, the fact that he started off this day with a 2-1 loss to then come out of the gate and get 2 back-to-back 2-1 victories just shows the level that he has brought, and he has certainly learned those mistakes, or learned from those mistakes with the Barcelona club finals. He is now into the grand final of the console for fcinter.
He's done one better, because back in Barcelona, of course, made it to the group stages, but bowed out in the group stages. So he'll be very happy, he'll be buoyed by the fact he's now secured that berth, but he has to go one further to be where he wants to be what would be the first Japanese representative in Tokyo later this summer.
And we thought, with the amount of chances that were coming, we got Harry Cam as well now, which is fantastic.
I get into it.
Because we were both just there thinking, chances have gone by the wayside. There was 3 or 4 in that first half, and we thought it might have just been almost a step too far for him. But again, he just managed to find almost a gift from the gods, as it were. As I say, you just see you. I think you were pretty much off your chair, and then some. This was a stunning strike where we thought there was no other option there that he had but to shoot. And again, it was from, I believe, the resulting corner, which is where the chaos ensued. Just a little bit of fortune there, manages to recycle it. It's just a flick of the left boot, rolls into the corner. You just see just how animated we were. You said it yourself, just a poke of the boot.
It's a poke of the boot. And it's all that Takaki needed. I cannot understate the brilliant resilience. I needed to make sure I said that properly. Bit of a tongue twister there from Takaki, the Japanese representative. He's punched his ticket to the final, Semra.
Well, I don't want to rain on your parade. Just hang on a minute. Hold your horses, okay? Because what I'm going to show you in a minute here may just suggest otherwise. But before we get to that, just in case you haven't been able to follow along the action throughout the day, here's just a quick look back at all of the results so far. We still just have one more final match to go for mobile and for console. We just saw there what these guys have brilliantly just walked us through between Sci-Fi Hacker 55 and Takaki. As you said, Takaki?
Takaki, yeah, you got it right. Got it in one.
I thought I said Takaki, sorry. Right, anyway, he got those 3 points to the board. Yes. He is in pole position. We'll come back to that. But let's just take a look at mobile very quickly. Remind ourselves of those results as well. This is what just happened, what went down. And you can see that the Brazilian, player 227, finally got 3 points on the board. That's really interesting. Low scoring game, but that's all right. but it still means that the group is completely wide open. Here's where things get really tasty. Let's bring up the table for both.
Right, now let's work this one out.
This is what I meant to say, right? Takaki is leading the way, but Mestre still, in theory, mathematically, could advance.
Correct, yes.
But so could Saif Al-Hacker.
Correct.
Therefore, it is not a guarantee as of yet that the Japanese is through.
I think it is.
No, we're going to correct you there.
Al-Hacker
correct me.
Al-Hacker has played all of his games, so now his points
Fine.
total is 4.
I accept that I stand corrected. Never mind. I was just trying to build. I was trying to build some suspense.
No, but there is still suspense.
Trying to build some suspense.
There is still suspense, and I'll help you build it.
Okay.
Is that Saif Al-Hacker is now the one in jeopardy. If Mestre can take a point, just a point, because they're level on goal difference. If he takes a point, Saif drops out. And Mestre can still make it through. Of course, though,
but
Isco,
here's where things are really tasty, though,
it's
in
tasty
mobile.
in the mobile, of course. But
look at that. 2 on 4 points and 2 on 3 points, 1 separating them. It's just mouthwatering.
It's too tight to call.
It's too tight to call, isn't it?
Certainly.
I'm even thinking, Wes, if Mestre... This is why we have the boffins, by the way.
Yeah.
If Mestre and Isco draw, then Mestre and Al-Hacker would still be tied on goal difference.
And then you would need the additional breakers that we've spoken
the
about
goals
before.
scored. That's above our pay grade.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But also, even more complicated, if Isco goes and takes a victory, again that puts him level with Saif Al-Hacker, and then all chaos ensues.
Rules go out the window.
But of course, the real one that I'm really looking forward to here is it's first versus third in the mobile.
Yes, which is coming up right now.
And it's a case of kind of winner takes all, really.
Well, right, because in
again,
theory,
if
both of them could be
draw,
left empty-handed, right? I mean, it's...
Yeah, it depends on goal differences and all sorts.
It's just madness. It's pure madness.
It's so
love
good.
it, rubbing his hands together. If I could, I would. Anything you want to say before we roll on into the final fixture of the group stage?
Oh, it's bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers.
Absolutely bonkers.
I don't think I've ever seen you guys this animated, this amped, this hyped up, this lost for words.
This season is taking years off of my life, but I'm here for it. I love
maybe it's actually adding years on because it's just giving you so much adrenaline and so much energy and vitality in your veins that are just pumping through. You know?
Maybe, but then that's an extra level of mathematics I don't think I'm willing to go into.
We don't have to worry
about
the mathematics side of things, but
the mathematics is we've got mobile to come, and this is going to be great.
All right.
So good.
Well, let's get to it then. Habacha Zoro against Rei Noguchi. This is your final match of the group stage. Enjoy it. The grand finales are coming next. Observation?
Well, goodness me. How have we got to this point, Wes? How have we got to this point?
I don't know. Such is the complexities of this format, such is the complexities of the results that we are seeing.
Yes.
And again, it does kind of show that the players that have got to this stage are almost of an equal footing, especially in mobile. You've got two players that are on 4 points, 2 players that are on 3. We've got one of each in this last finale game here. On the mobile side of things, it's anybody's at this point.
It most certainly is. We have, of course, this game to come. What is no doubt going to be a great game. Habacha Zoro from India, currently top of the group, if I remember correctly, against GU038 Games. We know him as Rei Noguchi, a fellow Japanese player vying to be, well, the first Japanese representative, but with Takaki on the other side.
It could be a double. It could literally be a Japanese double here today. If it goes... if results pan out for them, it certainly would. But of course, there's the beauty of why we have these games is that if it was all done on paper, we wouldn't need these finals. We wouldn't need the tournaments. We would just, we just have to kind of just go, well, that's what happens on paper. Whereas this is very much hotly contested, this mobile platform.
Well, we're underway. It's Rei Noguchi in the white strip, attacking first and foremost the left-hand side goal. Habacha Zoro in the home strip. He's got some defending to do here as Thuram looking to try and turn. That's really neat, actually, and Martinez tucks it home. A wonderful sweeping finish. Clinical from Rei Noguchi. Just 21 years of age. What composure shown by our Asia East, Oceania and others regional winner.
You're going to see my reaction here, folks, in the camera after the game. But what a piece of skill this is. Stops it with one foot, flicks it back with the other.
Sumptuous.
It's delicious is what that is. It's absolutely delicious. And a great start here as well in the final game here for Rei Noguchi. Samra said that Rei in Spanish is the meaning of king. He's certainly trying to be a king here.
The king might need to employ some siege tactics, as we did have Habacho Zoro try and immediately reply to that goal. It was such a beautiful piece of skill to fashion the chance, and Rei Noguchi tries the 1-2. And again, I don't want to kind of cosplay as a boffin, as our referee's in the back, and I'm glad that gets a giggle from you, Wes, because at this stage everything's out the window. There's Quadrado, and this is actually some quick build-up play. The 1-2 to Calhanoglu is blocked well by Bastoni. Trying to look back at the group stage table for the mobile side. I think Habacho Zoro was on 4 points, but threatens to drop out of the top 2 if he loses by a big margin here. I could be wrong in saying
goal difference, and it was very tight in that mobile field. I'm sure we'll get a live table from our production team as this game goes on. Curled in by Calhanoglu, the Summer comes away with it. But you're quite right. Yes, if you lose by too many, that second place berth might just go away from you, especially with these games now. These are the last games, so if you're sat on 4 points, the ball goes in towards Martinez!
What a flicked header! The ball, the vision, the flick with the head. We'll see it again. Sumptuous play. One of the best mobile goals we'll see today to double his advantage.
So we were about to say, if you lose by too many, you're at risk here. And certainly with that goal, Rei Noguchi is giving Prince all kinds of issues, especially with the goals that are left on the table. As we said, in terms of the table, the other side of the mobile platform, they've already played all their games, so they can't increase their points.
Yes.
The only thing that can happen is that goal differences can get worse. And that might be where, as you rightly said, our boffins may need to kick in here.
Just coming back to that goal, we didn't get the best replay of it, but it looked like from Martinez the connection was actually off the back of his head.
I think he stooped too low, and then it very kindly flicked off his head, and maybe that trajectory has just done the keeper a little bit.
It's a difficult technique to pull off, but if there's a man who can do it, it's indeed Martinez. Funnily enough, we've actually seen a first half substitution. While we were talking through that, I sadly didn't quite pick up whether or not it was Habacho Zoro, aka Prince, who made that substitute. You'd have to assume being 2 down and really being played off the park so far in the opening half hour. Choosing to exercise his right there. Nice build-up play here, not for the first time from GU. Calhanoglu, Thuram.
It's the calmness in possession. Yes, he's given the ball away there, did Rei Noguchi, but it's the calmness in possession that impresses me quite a lot, is that there's patience in the passing. Well, that's a poor giveaway there, though.
It is. Martinez, edge of the box, gets his strike away, left-footed! And Martinez gives on one end and takes away at the other. A goal that Prince Yadav no doubt needed just before half-time. 2-1.
Yeah, it's a great finish, and again, it was a poor giveaway, as we said at the... So we'll see it again here. It's just a bit lax in that passing, and yes, you can have confidence, but sometimes there can be a little bit of arrogance that throws in there. But it's a wonderful finish there from Prince Yadav. Again, we'll wait for that live table to see exactly what things look like. As we no doubt wait for, as we said, we'll wait for our admins and referees to let us know if there is a requirement of a separator or a game breaker, as it were.
Yeah.
What is that separator? Because again, you can imagine it's going to be pretty tight in terms of goal differences, in terms of points, in terms of head-to-heads, all of these different things. You're kind of going to have to, you're going to need some type of game breaker, which I'm sure that there is many that are there. It's normally goal difference, then it's, I believe it's goals scored, and then it goes down to head-to-heads. So we'll certainly see, we'll certainly try and interpret what we can hear in our ears from our production team.
Well, that would have been the final attack of the half, but it is given away. You can see, I think that was 68% possession from Reinaguchi. I mean, you'd have to say he's a bit disappointed in the manner in which he conceded. To give the ball away and then just see your opponent be as clinical as he was, you can't afford too many more of those.
No, you can't, no. And especially, you know, again, we talk about in terms of points, again, a draw would potentially put Reinaguchi potentially into that bracket of being qualified, but we just don't know. And again, if I were Reinaguchi, I wouldn't even want that question mark. I would just want, here is my victory, I'm through, the rest of you guys can sort it out between yourselves. I think that's what most players at home would be thinking, is going, don't leave it up to goal differences, don't leave it up to goals scored, just get the points on the board and everything else will work out for itself.
Carlos Augusto trying to kick off the second half with the stunning cross. As the sides have swapped, it's now Habacha Zoro, aka Prince Yadav, the 18-year-old from India, our Asia West regional winner for the mobile platform. He'll be attacking that left-hand goal in the inter-home strip. The Japanese representative will be attacking the other way, and Mkhitaryan just balloons one over. Did he get a bit of a deflection here, or was that a miss kick? It was the latter, sadly.
A little bit too much power on it there. You saw the shot power bar go into the red, which, again, if you're hitting it at that level, you don't want to hit it as like a full shot. You want to hit a controlled strike.
Thuram. Oh, that's a lovely dummy, and gets the strike off, and that is a wonderful goal. An absolutely ace piece of skill. Prince Yadav, what a way to score your equaliser.
That is an absolute thunderbolt. The dummy there just to sell the defenders and the challenge. It just opens up the lane, and it's an absolute screamer from Marcus Thuram. Perfect avenue to see this. Straight as an arrow into the back of the net. Goalkeeper were left with absolutely no chance.
The attendance for this
match, what a final half an hour in the game we have set up and poised for us here. And what kind of affliction that does on the mobile group stage table. Bachazoro taking no risks there following the goal. Knocking it behind for a corner. I think other sports call the dummy leading up to the goal an ankle breaker. There's a corner here to be dealt with.
Certainly sat down the defender.
But look at this break. There's real numbers here for Habachazoro. Chalhanulu just cannot slide in Mkhitaryan. Berea recovers and takes it past Augusto. Martinez with the dummy runs into his own man. It's Mkhitaryan. Some real nerves being shown here. Prince Yadav back on the offensive, runs into the brick wall of defence. You'd have to say GU 038 Games will be disappointed to be sharing the points here after going 2 goals to the good. Final 10. Rapidly approaching Martinez through to Mkhitaryan. That's a lovely ball! An a lovely finish. Right on cue. As I said, he'd be disappointed to share those points. Now he might not have to, Wes. That's a great goal.
That's right when you need it. Last periods of the game. And it's exactly the player you want on it. Henrik Mkhitaryan is exactly the player that you want in this type of avenue. Again, it was just kind of stunted the build-up, and then it was that one touch, and again, finds it into the corner, near post. It's a tricky finish to pull off, but that is a really, really good finish. We'll see it again here. He had quite a lot of the goal to aim at. And I don't think Sommers even realised that near post is an option there. 3 goals to 2. And now, all of a sudden, it is back to as you were. And again, as we said, Takaki will want to put those points, just put it all to bed, at least from his perspective. Now, of course, certainly puts a little bit of onus here on Prince Yadav and whether he is actually going to stay in the competition here. Can't wait to see these tables at the end of play. Of course, not even to mention the fact that we don't actually know what's happened on console either.
No.
And we don't even know the ramifications of that game either. This is, again, stay with us, folks. We've got plenty more drama here to figure this all out.
An opportunity to take a quick breath, reflect on the goal. We just saw the changes come in for the final 10 in-game minutes. The credit, I have to say, to Reino Gucci. To play the pass with Martinez, so many players in the position would take the strike on. I saw the run of Mkhitaryan, and boy, did he tuck it home nicely. Possession, the name of the game now.
He knows that points on the board matter more than any more goals, I think. Bit of a dicey giveaway there, though.
Absolutely right, as Cuadrado looks to get some hold-up play from his teammates, and now Sanchez, Darmian. There's a man on the edge of the box here. Does queue up a stunning strike. Not sure if that's the wisest option, because look, there's 4 black and blue shirts trying to break, but the through ball isn't there. The ball's at the wrong end of the pitch here for Habacha Zorro, and the points and the win goes to GU 038 Games. Reino Gucci, 21 years of age, regional winner of Asia East, Oceania and others, with a big 3 points late on in the day in his final group stage match. Take a breath, Wes.
Well, certainly. Don't worry, I'll help you out from here. I know you have been through the walls here today with the amount of goals that we have seen.
I love it.
And quite rightly so. I mean, you said this at the top of the show, is that Japan were without a representative in the World Finals in Tokyo. They may, potentially, after what we're going to see in these next 2 finals, they may have 2 going there from one club, which would be a phenomenal achievement for them. But again, you almost thought it was so back and forth between these 2, and you thought that once Prince Yadav had got that second goal, you thought, it's going to go to points, and then there's going to be all of these tiebreakers. And instead, actually, Reino Gucci just took it upon himself and went, that's it, done. He went, from my perspective, I am through, all done and dusted, nothing left to worry about.
And it's almost a bit cruel, really, to think that, as we look at that incredible second goal, had you just back to the screen, arms in the air, wondering whether or not we would see another goal. It makes you think, will Habacha Zorro, could he have just sabotaged his own chances of making the final? We have to wait and see, of course, the final group stage matches. That 81st minute goal from Reino Gucci was enough to seal the 3 points, and what is Semra, a huge win, a humongous win, and does him just absolutely all kinds of favours in the latter stages of the group stage.
Absolutely, because now it's done and dusted. We know who's heading through to the grand finals for the console and for mobile. We obviously just saw what happened there. Why don't we take a look at what went down in the other game, and we can have another quick run through of the results so far now that the group stage has come to completion. After that, we can go through each of the league tables, and we can actually finalise is who is going to be taking part of who's going to be taking home those trophies. Well, actually, why don't we start with that then? So in the end, as you already confirmed, Takaki going through with Saif Al-Hacker 55, just the 2 points between them. But look at that. There's a two-way tie between second and third in both groups, level on points and level on goal difference. So what it has come down to in the end is who scored more goals. In console, Saif Al-Hacker scored 7, Mestre scored 4, and in mobile, Nerazzurri scored 6, whereas Jxmkt only scored 4. So that made the difference in the end. It's really come down to the absolute wire here, you guys. I don't think we've ever seen this before.
I think it definitely runs true in terms of what we were saying at the top of the show. The level of competition here at the FC Interclub Finals is probably the closest we've seen so far throughout all our club event finals. An absolute shark tank in the console group, and it goes to show how close the mobile group is as well. I mean, good luck to the finalists, because I can't pick a winner.
I mean, looking at it, I mean, it's what, 1 goal in the mobile group has separated them, and then you're looking at, as we said, goals 4 between Saif and Mestre in the top end. Again, critically, from what we looked at, that 4-4 draw in the opening match certainly has kind of just helped out Saif without even him realising it.
It's just been an absolute masterclass of a day, I think, all around with all of the competition and just how stiff it has been. And it really is so difficult to decide what it's going to come down to in the end, because it's just so incredibly tight all across the board. I mean, I know I've been saying that repeatedly throughout the day, but it is really, really true. It's just so difficult to actually know who's going to be able to outmaneuver the other. Looking at this next one, Takaki versus Saif Al-Hacker, what do you think it's going to come down to based on what we've seen from their performances today, what their strengths have been, what their weaknesses have been? How might this particular final be decided?
Well, all we have to do is look at the group stage match, and it was 2-1 in favour of Takaki. That's how close it was. It could go the either way, especially when you factor in if they're even at the end of the 90, we've got extra time, and penalties if they're even at the end of that. So anything can happen now, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, to take one of those bad boys home, they're gonna need to go some. As we said, 2-1 victory. As I see, that beautifully modelled here by me, almost like I'm on a shopping channel. Do you want one? Do you want one? Do you want me to take one?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You know what? I'm taking liberties. I'm taking liberties here because.
Wait a second. Wes, have you won one of these before? Remind me.
No.
You know what the golden rule is?
I'm from England. We don't win trophies.
Mate, you know it. But you know what the golden rule is?
I know you can't touch it unless you won it.
Correct.
That's true. I feel bad getting my fingerprints on it, so I'm going to
We'll give it over the boss. We'll give it over the boss.
Give it over to the boss. There you go.
I don't feel right taking this.
Thank you. You've got to cradle it like, a very sacred object that it is.
Absolutely.
So, we're giving it good energy and good vibes, because obviously somebody is going to be taking this home, and hopefully it will serve them well as they also go to Japan. So, guys, without further ado, why don't we get to it then? It's going to be Takaki versus Saif Al-Hacker 55 for your grand finale on console.
Yes, thank you so much, Semra. I think that's the closest I'm going to get to a trophy in my lifetime.
Most definitely.
But regardless, it all comes down to this. We have our current qualified world finalists watching, waiting, seeing who's going to join them. Footy Facil of Brazil, we have Real Fabiano of France, of course, Calahard of Mexico. All have punched their tickets already to the console platform world finals.
Yes, you talk about Shark Tanks.
Yeah.
There's, as we said already, we've gone through the format of what these players do to get to this phase. It's one thing to get to this phase, it's a very different one to get through this, and so grueling as it has been through the amount of kind of pitfalls that they have had to handle going through all of these tournaments and through all of these games and through all of these months, as it were, of gameplay. And it all comes down to this. And it is so gilt-edged, as it were.
Gilt-edged is right. We are underway in our console grand final. Thank you so much for joining us. It is Saif Al-Hacker in the home strip defending the goal that Takaki's attacking. And what a way to start! All day long we've been saying Japan, they're lacking a representative so far in the World Finals. Takaki has taken it upon himself here in the opening 4 in-game minutes from this counter-attack.
Yeah, it's a 3v2 there. You just see this one pass, brilliant one-touch pass to just lay that one in. And again, it's a wonderful start for Takaki. You see there, just a flick around the corner. I believe that is Nico Barella there to sweep that one home. And again, it's advantage to Takaki very early on here in this final. As you said, what, 5 in-game minutes? Well, not even that, 4. Yep. Wonderful start for the man from Japan.
If you thought the group stages were bonkers, wait till you see these knockout stages. No doubt they are going to be even more high-octane eFootball. Credit to Takaki. After starting his group stage campaign with a 2-1 loss to Mestre. He's going to have some defending to do now, but he finds himself in the grand final with a goal advantage to defend if he so chooses. For Saif Al-Hacker, of course our Asia West regional winner, Afro-Arab League 2023 champion, a rising star of the eFootball world. Well, he's given the ball away in defence and Martinez squares it to Calhanoglu! And have the lights just gotten a little bit too bright for the man we were just talking about? Because Takaki has doubled his advantage, Wes.
It looks like he's learnt from those mistakes. The ghosts of the FC Barcelona finals may have just been put to bed. Takaki, again, it's really lax from Saif. Really, really lax. And it's a gift at this level. You cannot be giving those types of gifts away. Again, it's a square across the box, and it's easy as you like. It's 2-0. And we could really be staring down the barrel here of a huge upset.
It's not what you want to see if you're a fan of Saif Al-Hacker. 24-year-old from Jordan finds himself 2-0 down in the opening 15. Just can't seem to get a real foothold in this match so far. A reminder, in the grand final, both on console and mobile, we have 120 minutes and penalties if needed. Of course, that's if they're tied at the end of 90. And 120. We need a winner from these matches. And those winners will represent the blue side of Milan at the World Finals. Chance at redemption, a long-range strike, and that is a rocket! That is a bolt from the blue, for the Blues. What a way to finally introduce yourself to a grand final. Saif Al-Hacker, take a bow.
Excuse my impression of an 80s wrestler there, but Lord, what a hit that is. That took me straight out of my soul. What an absolute hit that is. And what a way to get yourself back into the final. Really good ball movement here. He gets the ball away. It just absolutely crunches one. You don't save those. I think you could put 3 goalkeepers in there and he's not stopping that. That is a thunderous hit from Lautaro Martinez.
Oh, seen some really neat, tidy finishes from Lautaro Martinez here today at the club finals. That one might just be the pick of the bunch in a different category, really. Part of me was questioning whether or not it was the right idea to shoot from that kind of range, but That's why Saif Al-Hacker has made his way to this console grand final. Martinez beats his man. Left step dribbles his way through. It's an improvised knock on there from Takaki. Barea here for Saif Al-Hacker. Some jockeying going on. There's a, well, needed a deflection there, I think, in the box.
It's certainly setting up the what is informally known as the knock-on controlled strike, which is what essentially is setting up here. Certainly trying to get that ball, just roll it out of feet and then hit it. Gets a bit more purchase on it than just a regular controlled strike from that distance. Saif certainly trying to pull out all the tricks here.
All cleared at the front post, but only as far as Pavard. And these chances getting closer and closer for Saif here. Through a real forest of defenders and opposition players. Connects with none of them though. And the scoreline remains 2-1, and it's a scoreline, Wes, that Takaki is all too familiar with so far today.
Yeah, it's certainly become the 2-1 master. Every game that he has played has ended in that scoreline, whether it has been for him or against him. And I think if he was to ask him now, I think he would take that result all day long here, but I don't think he's finished, and I don't think he wants to let Saif Al-Hacker off the hook.
Yeah, Martinez really drives one in! And what's happened there? It's Sanchez who tucks it home. We'll have to get another look at this, Wes. I think it's Sommer who's at fault here. Not enough purchase on this.
And it's a stunning cross into the box, or at least a stunning ball into the box. You'll see it again here. Deflected, ricocheted. That was basically pinball, and it's one errant leg of Alexis Sanchez, which you'll see here again. He just sticks a leg out. You just see it there, just pokes it out, reaches it, and then any other day that goes over the bar, it hits the bar. Instead, it nestles into the roof of the net, and Takaki now leads 3-1.
Well, at first glance, I thought Sommer maybe could have done better, but honestly, there's a bit of sympathy there for him. That deflection is really difficult to deal with. Didn't have much time to think about where to put it, but for Takaki, it reinstates his 2-goal cushion. And for the first time in these fcinter club finals, Takaki's part of a game that's not going to finish 2-1. Lovely drag back, Çalhanoğlu on the overlap as well. What can he produce here? It stood up for Sanchez. What is crazy, Wes, is a 2-goal cushion in a grand final. You think, yeah, Takaki, he's in control here, but Saif has proven his attacks can be so clinical. He's looking to formulate another one here. Alexis Sanchez, Çalhanoğlu to the feet of Thuram, Martinez. So many defenders in his way that time.
He was going to need it. It was a good build up there by Saif, but defensive rearguard of Takaki has certainly come to the fore in these kind of the last few minutes of the half here.
Sanchez can't find Martinez, but a interesting point to raise is Takaki is used to saving his subs. I'll come back to that. Defending to do first. Sanchez, nice dribbling to try and worm his way away from Damian. Comes back to him in the end anyway and is able to play out from the back, but Takaki likes to save some of his more pacey players, so that may well pay off in the second half to come. For now, 3 minutes added on, we're in the third of those, as it is cleared up field by Takaki.
The right thing to do at this point of the game, especially when half-time is about to be called, just get it away and stop that last-minute goal being put on you at half-time. But what a start here. You can see there the 3 shots, 3 goals, 3 on target, and 35% of the possession for Takaki.
It's clinical. It's clinical, and we started today by not only watching a 4-4 draw, might I remind you.
Yeah, but yeah, just the small matter of a 4-4 draw.
Small matter, but also saying that at this stage of the competition, having gone through the 3 rounds to get here, the weeks, the months of qualification, when it gets to this game, this is the game you're aiming for, the grand final of your platform. When those chances appear, you need to take them. Same rules as in the group stages. You see a chance, you take it. That's what Takaki's done so far, and that's why he finds himself 3-1 up. The big question, I think a lot of viewers at home, and definitely me internally, no doubt you as well, Wes, is asking, what kind of reply does Saif Al-Hakka have? Because the occasion can get to you. I mean, I know that applies to both sides, but a 2-goal advantage for Takaki. It's difficult to overturn as we move into the second half here. Of course, the sides swap, and Takaki almost is in there to commence proceedings.
Well, interestingly, these two would have faced each other as their last group games as well. So we'll see Mkhitaryan look to try and run in field and trying to get a strike away. But we saw these two play each other in their last group game. And we talk about hot hands and we talk about, you know, psychological advantages. They do appear in video games and with esports folks. Let's not get it twisted. You know, it's not just as simple as turning up and plugging your controller in and playing the game. It's very much humans behind these sticks. It's just whether that's had a little bit of almost a frightener on Saif Al-Hakka and maybe made him freeze a little bit on the big stage here.
Chance for him now. If he could get this passage of play correct. One Cuadrado. Just keeping possession, being very patient. It's the only result in a throw-in. And a chance with a break in play to really assess what's going on with both sides' lineups. This is a very delicate point of the game. Not certainly this phase of play, as it resumes quite quickly actually with Saif Al-Hakka. Cuadrado looking for that run of Barella. He's found him as well. Vital intervention, but the trophy stood up between us, Wes, is what is at stake for essentially whoever can close out this second half in the lead. Thuram with a header and Bastoni! A real chance. Squandered.
Yeah, it's a half chance, but it's a chance nonetheless. I mean, again, if that goes in, it certainly changes the complexion of the game. And you're quite right in saying the differences in the lineups here. Takaki, for example, seems to opt for mobility in the first half, go with Sanchez rather than Thuram. Then, as we said before, leaves it to more tired legs and more tired players to go up against a fresh Marcus Thuram that has those physical attributes that we've been talking about. But it allows Takaki to almost morph his game a little bit, allows those balls into Thuram, finds it around the corner.
Oh, Martinez! You spoke it into existence, Wes. Thuram with the hold-up play, just that little bit of space, the pocket of space he finds to feed the man who's been on red-hot form today. Scores his umpteenth goal. Lautaro Martinez giving Takaki now a 3-goal advantage, 4-1.
It's been decisive in moments like this, and decisive moments. It's about being clinical and it's about being decisive. It's not having any element of doubt in your gameplay, and certainly that's what I'm seeing here from Takaki. It's a case of ball goes into him. He knows exactly where he wants to put it and knows exactly where his other players are to connect to. As a result, it's 4-1 up here. He's very much in the driver's seat, and you have to feel that it's almost as though that's going to be the one that takes the wind out the sails here for Saif Al-Hakka.
It might be the one that takes this trophy here, Wes, back to Japan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and also, again, if we say that let's just call it argument's sake, this result stays as it is. Takaki, as we said, home field advantage, home country, home support, all of those factors can really roll in, and FC Inter might just have a real star on their hands representing them at the World Finals in Tokyo.
A big in-game 30 minutes plus stoppages for Saif Al-Hakka. He's made it this far, so he's proven he can hang with the best of them It is a hard mode challenge though. Mkhitaryan back to Thuram. Oh, almost repaid the favour. But what a story this could be for Takaki. Martinez waits for reinforcements. They come, but the final ball sadly does not. After qualifying for the first club event finals of the season in Barcelona, made it to Barcelona in person. If I remember correctly, it was back in February, so a couple of months to kind of ruminate on the shoulda, woulda, couldas, to bounce back immediately, come to the Inter finals, make it through the group stages, and be in this position now. No disrespect to Saif Al-Hacker, because there is still time on this clock. But if Takaki pulls this off, I might even argue that Inter is a bit of a better fit for his playstyle than Barcelona.
Yeah, I think that's almost become apparent from today in terms of FC Inter clearly have attributes that are well worth having in your squad. If you look from their squad from front to back, you know, their centre-backs are Bastoni and De Vrij, you've got Martinez, you've got Thuram as forwards, you've got Calhanoglu and Barella and Cuadrado and Sanchez. There's so many kind of almost all-stars to call into your squad and call into your repertoire that realistically, chance of that's a wonderful ball from Cuadrado. Oh, and he's offside though.
Oh, I thought he was onside.
I think we both did with that ball. That was a phenomenal ball. And the toe of Cuadrado is offside, but it's offside enough.
And no doubt fans from the Saif Al-Hacker camp will be breathing a big sigh of relief as he now, after a bit of a let-off, can maybe chance his hand at attacking here. More patient play, but Cuadrado was almost in on goal moments ago. Back on defensive duties. Good ball though, Arnautovic. Cuadrado inside his man, goes for the right-footed strike, and it's just dragged past the open goal, wrong side of the post.
Such a hard skill to pull off, and you've got a right footer on the right side of the field, and he tries to curl it back. It's always going to curl the other way, and you've got to go some to really beat the goalkeeper with that type of strike.
Just feel maybe that sums up Saif Al-Hacker's day, or at least this grand final. Played incredibly well in truth in the group stages. Has to be careful, has to get 3 goals. It's looking more and more likely we will be getting a Japanese representative in Tokyo. The more this time ticks on, but we cannot understate it enough. This console group stage here for FC Inter has been one of the toughest we've seen. Saif Al-Hacker will still have opportunities here in this game. Thuram, just a wall of players. Back to Thuram, saved by Sommer, and you just think with that save it might be one that guarantees this console grand final and the trophy between us. Whereas goes back to Japan. Saif though not giving up. Arnautovic to Cuadrado. Regains the ball on that far side. Mkhitaryan, Bastoni, Thuram. Pavard just held his ground.
Anywhere will do if you are Takaki at this point in time.
Thuram, Martinez, strike from distance. And well, that is a beauty. Not the first, maybe not the last today from Lautaro Martinez. But with the time so devilishly against Saif Al-Hacker, it cuts the deficit to 2. But it's a little bit late in the day for my money here, Wes.
Yeah, I think so. I think looking at it, I mean, it's a fantastic finish. Let's not take that away from the goal.
Standalone goal, fantastic.
It's a brilliant goal, but it is just a little bit too late. So she ticked into the 89th minute. We'll see how generous or how kind of shrewd the referee has been with the time added on. We've seen comebacks, we have, but this falls into that highly improbable but not impossible type of realm, because it's so close. 5 minutes added on. He'd need to recover the ball now and really go and do some damage with it, but instead he's giving the ball away.
Martinez can start the victory lap, I wonder, here for Takaki. Turan to Çalhanoğlu! And there is the victory lap from Hakan Çalhanoğlu. 2 goals today from midfield for Takaki, who has scored at will, unfazed by the console grand final, unfazed by his adversary here. Saif Al-Hakka bested in the group stages 2-1. This one a bit more definitive, and we will have a Japanese representative in Tokyo at the World Finals.
It's a worthy victor of today as well. We saw it in the early going with the game against Mestre, and we thought, well, if he can come through, he might just have that to his bow. But fantastic performance from Takaki all the way through today.
And there is that final whistle that confirms Takaki will be your console representative for fcinter. He wins and is console champion here at the club finals. And congratulations to him, because today, where's today? I mean, for us as commentators, sat here in cold blood, was a journey. For these players, I keep saying it, months, weeks, hours of work put in. And for Takaki, it's paid off. The ultimate prize is the trophy and the tickets to the World Finals.
Yeah, and like we said, he spoke of the history of representing fcinter. We'll see, again, we'll see some of the goals here and some of the plays. That flick around the corner was beautifully done to start off in the early going, not 4 minutes in. And to see the way that, for lack of a better term, he demolished Saif Al-Hakka in the final. It was just a great thing to see. Yeah. I mean, again, I think I was more shocked by just how quickly it all started, really, because again, you don't think that there'll be nerves. You'll think, oh, in the finals, there's going to be something that's just going to kind of dislodge him. In reality, he just put his foot to the floor and said, no, I'm going to take this one away and I'm going to make this definitive. And so he saw 3 goals. As we'll see, 3-1, and that was that one where you thought Sommer was at fault, and actually it was the deflection that really caused the issue. But again, we saw beautiful play not sooner after his substitutions. Brilliantly well-worked goal.
I think you were, at that point, admiring your own prophecy, Wes. You were just saying about how Turan coming on is able to really feed his teammates. That goal was a wonder goal, truly it was. But at the time of the game and in the situation, just sadly for Saif, was a little too late. You have to say, though, a massive congratulations to Takaki. I mean, 26 years old, first Japanese representative at his essentially home country tournament. That's going to be a big badge of honor that he can wear to his fellow countrymen later on in the summer. But he also joins the likes of Futi Fasil, Raul, Fabiano, Calahard in that grand finals
the
later
big melting pot that's ended up in Tokyo. I can't wait to hear how that goes.
So much talent there, Semra, and well, we only have one more match to come.
And we've completed the deck in the end, haven't we? A nice representative from every single country that has been competing at these competitions over the last few weeks and months. So it's quite nice in a way. And congratulations to him, because it was such an emphatic victory in the end. 5 goals. I mean, that's really impressive to do in the final of finals, right? To get yourself into the World Finals. Obviously, he wanted to make sure that he was going to secure his place in his homeland in Japan come July. Speaking of which, why don't we catch up with the main man himself, Takaki, and get his thoughts about becoming crowned champion of this eFootball Championship fcinter. Takaki, tell me a little bit about how you're feeling right now. I can only imagine you must be absolutely overjoyed with this victory.
I'm so happy to win this tournament and appreciate for my friends and family and supporters.
Okay, well, why don't we talk a little bit about the game itself, how you managed to actually win it. As we said, 5 goals. I mean, that's really quite difficult to do, especially against the most difficult competition of the day. You scored with Lautaro Martinez, with Çalhanoğlu. How was this approach to the game, and also how did you make the best use of these big-time cards?
I was very aware of their abilities, and I thought that making the most of their abilities was essential to winning, so I focused on that. They did a great job.
Okay, so tell me a little bit now in terms of how you might prepare for July. Obviously, there's still plenty of time to go. You've only just won this game now. But did you at least, at the back of your mind, ever think what it would be like if you did go to the World Finals, how you might get yourself ready, what the preparation might look like?
I'm happy and excited to be able to represent such a historic club and fcinter. I would like to practice a lot with fcinter players in order to win World Final in Tokyo.
Well, excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Arigato. Congratulations. We'll see you in a few months' time. And yeah, obviously, it's gone swimmingly well for him, and someone in. I think we didn't really know too much about, if memory serves me well, coming into today. So it's kind of nice to see an unknown quantity surprise us all and snap up the main prize.
Yeah, we spoke a little bit about it. When he appeared at the FC Barcelona Club event finals, you just sensed a little bit that maybe the squad wasn't really kind of playing to his strengths. What he's just said then in the interview says that he knows his players' strengths, he knows their qualities, which was evident by the scoreline in which he was able to win convincingly that grand final. Just goes to show it really is about just getting the most out of your club that you qualify for and really buying into the club's philosophy and playing to their strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, as you said, in that first half, the stereotype now for Takaki is that he starts off with mobility, and then in the second half, he moves to strength, physicality, moves to a bit of pace. That's where Thuram comes into the game, and no sooner did he bring Thuram on, he scores his 4th, and that pretty much closed the game down. Yes, there was a consolation goal in there from Safe, but once that 4th goal went in, I think that was the real kidney shot.
Sure.
That kind of finished
the
it
final
off.
nail in the coffin, if you will. Well, 1 down, 1 to go. We still have a very exciting grand final on offer for you. Just very quickly, let's get your thoughts looking into this one based on what we've seen from these two throughout the day. We've got Noguchi and Habachazoro going up against one another. So how do you fancy the chances? What kind of match do you think we're going to see between the two of them?
Difficult to say at this moment in time because everything we know about the mobile platform's kind of gone out the window. We've seen so many goals here today that it's really difficult to pinpoint one thing. A little tidbit, a little nugget, if you will. We are guaranteed to see, if I'm not mistaken, our first double representative of a nation in the final, because we already have Joy Boy from India and now, as we've just seen, Takaki from Japan. So one of these two is going to be joining a countryman at the finals.
Well pointed out. Yes, that is very interesting. So obviously some countries going to be blaring with all kinds of support come July then, with extra support.
That will split a YouTube chat like you wouldn't believe. It really will.
Right, any final thoughts you want to chip in with?
I think for me, it was the last mobile game that we saw on stream as well between these two, and
That's
if it's as good as it was, then we're in for a brilliant game here. So let's get this show on the road.
Let's get the show on the road. It's Rei Noguchi against Habachazoro.
Yes, thank you, Semra. As the lights come up on us, Wes, we're looking to shed some light on who will be lifting the second of these two magnificent trophies. Of course, the blue side of Milan have just such a wonderful colour scheme. We've decked the trophy out for, well, Takaki and one of these two.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will be a worthy winner regardless of who goes through here, because again, on one side of the fence you've got Rei Noguchi, who has been fantastic throughout the tournament, and again, because of how close that group was, again, Prince Yadav has also been just as good. So this is you're kind of splitting your hairs here, folks. Yes, we're going to probably sit on the fence for this one because it's that close. It was that close in the group stage.
That's my secret, Wes. I'm always on the fence. We are underway. Our final match of the day. Zoro in the home kit. Defending the left-hand goal, taking on GU038 Games or Reinoguchi, as we know him. Going the other way, and I tell you what, for Zoro, threatening to get in behind, but for the linesman's intervention. Who will be joining their countrymen? That's the question. The mobile platform has seen some real talent on display this season. Of course, these two are part of that talent pool as well. Early on, it is the 18-year-old from India, Prince Yadav, the Asia West regional winner. Has the opportunity to join his countryman Joy Boy at the World Finals. Joy Boy, by the way, representing the other side of Milan. We won't go into that, but that's a corner venomously swung in. Chahanulu still contesting this. Cleared away by Reinoguchi.
Hence why I said that it might split a YouTube chat if both representatives are from India are representing both sides of Milan.
Goodness, that's a can of worms I don't even want to try and predict at this moment in time. Let's just keep it civil, people. Carlos Augusto here for an opportunity for GU to attack. They've come few and far between here in the opening 20. Here he goes again. Mkhitaryan, Cuadrado, just can't seem to latch on to any passes in the final third so far. It's been a tricky one, Wes.
Yeah, you can suppose it's a little bit more difficult to try and establish your game plan within mobile because, as we said, there's subtle nuances and differences between the mobile version and the console version. And I think that's kind of where these two are kind of trying to line themselves up, and they're trying to get an early enough chance to just kind of try and put this game straight away to bed, because we've said already, mobile version, clock ticks down so much quicker than the console. And I think that's where this game is going to maybe kind of be the divider now, is who gets that first chance and more importantly, who takes that chance.
Clinical nature is something that you absolutely need on this platform. Cuadrado here for Reinoguchi. To Mkhitaryan in the midfield. Here he is again, edge of the box. Cuadrado's hung out wide. Martinez! Oh! The base of the post.
Thought that was in.
We've seen him tuck those away time and time again today. Not this time for Reinoguchi, and look at Sanchez. Who's that on the far side? No doubt he'll be looking for Chahanulu. Oh! His own man almost carrying it through. We stay at 0-0.
Let chaos ensue here. Pretty is exactly what we're seeing right now in front of our eyes.
Cuadrado, Mkhitaryan, Chahanulu all combining. Mkhitaryan's carried on his run, but the ball just comes a little bit too late.
Just offside. Just offside there. Against really good build-up play from Reinoguchi, but Prince survives another day.
Well, as half-time approaches, a reminder, this is the grand final, so knockout rules apply. Extra time if we can't split them in the 90. And then penalties if we can't split them after that will be the order of business here. Lautaro Martinez dispossessed.
There will be 1 minute added time.
Reinoguchi here, the 21-year-old from Japan. There's a chance here. Mkhitaryan to slide in. Martinez! And he does so! To end the first half of this grand final. What a time to score! Martinez with, again, his umpteenth finish today. Great build-up, and it's 1-0.
Here's me thinking the chance was gone because I thought you could sprint in there with Mkhitaryan and take the shot. Little did I know, of course, that, of course, striker supreme, Lautaro Martinez, charging through there. But the bull in a proverbial china shop just bundles everybody out of the way and then takes the strike home.
And that is the final action in the first half, Wes. Today has been a dream.
It has. It's been a festival of football, for lack of a better term, in terms of what we have seen today. Granted, we've still got another 45 in-game minutes here of mobile to go, but again, crucially, a goal in injury time at half-time. It changes complexions. It changes the feeling going into the second half. But the issue now becomes, of course, is that if you take that lead, psychologically, do you go, okay, I need to sit back, I need to go forward, what do I do here? Do I try and sit and take it, or take the pressure that's going to come my way, or do I try and almost go the Takaki route and go all out and go and take the game away from your opponent?
Well, that's what Takaki did to great effect earlier in the console final. We're here in the mobile final, and of course the stakes are about as high as they can get at this stage of the season, with the club events running out and the chances, the spots at the World Finals really starting to slim down now. Martinez feeds Mkhitaryan! He bookends half-time with goals. Reino Gucci, the 21-year-old political science student, the Asia, East, Oceania and others regional winner, has a 2-goal lead, which on mobile, Wes, is worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely it is. It's worth its weight in goals is what it is, Harry. Again, to get two either side of half-time, again, quite rightly, as you said, it's a perfect time to score the second. And now here comes the chess game. Do you blink? Do you go, or do you just keep playing your natural game? Or do you try and go a bit defensive? As you see, right-hand side of your screen, a bit more attacking coming in from Prince Yadav.
Quadrado rightly comes back to help the defensive effort. But a big half is needed here for Habachazoro. It's not going his way at the moment as Quadrado here on the overlap, starting cross towards Thuram, gets his head on goal. His header on goal, I should say, and a bit more accuracy on that. We're probably looking at 3.
It wasn't too far away from making it 3.
Wasn't at all, and you'd have to say, third goal here may just punch that ticket to join the likes of La Casa, Talamisui, Joy Boy, who've already made it to the World Finals. It has to be one of these two. Will it be Japan? Will it be India? With multiple representatives at the World Finals. By the way, if GU 038 Games is able to win out and hold on to this lead, we would have 2 Japanese winners today for FC Inter. What a story that would be.
I wonder who Japan would be rooting for then in the World Finals.
Yeah, no prizes for guessing that. Habachazoro, though, still in this game. Needs to get things going quite quickly, though. Thuram had snuck in behind, but with 15 in-game minutes away from that full-time whistle, plus stoppages, and Reino Gucci was just moments away from carving out a potential third.
There's not long left here between these two, and these pauses and these almost timeouts, as it were, they're delicately balanced, especially at this time of the game, especially within mobile. It's increasingly becoming more rare that you can get 2 goals back in such a short space of time. If it was console, it'd be a little bit different. Mobile, though, it's increasingly more difficult.
You're so right in saying that. And evidenced will be in the top left-hand corner of the screen, just how quickly that timer will tick towards the number 90. Much quicker than the console platform. And that is not good news for Habacha Zoro. Prince Yadav, who's come this far. So he needs to take one of these chances, really needs to just carve out a chance at this point. Here's an opportunity to do so, but that looks like a missed input to me. Bit of a mistake, maybe some nerves from the young man, and Mkhitaryan on the other side has snuck through the back line. No final product, but the fact remains that scoreline is 2-0. And it could be more as Sanchez pulls it back to Martinez. It is saved. Barea back to Darmian, who can maybe kill this game off if it isn't dead already. Çalhanoğlu to Thuram, has to be now. Barea cannot find his man. And GU 038 Games has done it. He is the winner, he's the champion, Rei Noguchi of the fcinter club event mobile platform. A double win for Japan here today. Congratulations, Rei Noguchi.
Yeah, it's well worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Well worth it in the end. Again, to start off so quickly in a mobile final.
Yeah.
Again, really took the game away from Prince Yadav very, very early on, and just didn't really look like losing control of that at any point during that game.
We always say the chances of somewhat few and far between in the mobile category in the platform. Once they appear like those, to bookend half time, it's a real gut punch, it's a real blow, just takes all the wind out of Habacha Zoro, because Prince Yadav from India, of course only 18 years old, no doubt not the last we've heard from him.
Absolutely not.
Would have been mentally trying to steady himself after conceding just before half time, but then to start the second half in the same fashion, it's a big mental blow.
Yeah, it is. It really was, and it's just that sucker punch just after half time. And when you think, oh, okay, well, I've made my adjustments at half time, I've got my game plan because I know that I'm 1-0 down, and then to just concede in that fashion, it really took the game away from him.
Well, Jxmkt, Rei Noguchi is out to Tokyo.
Rei Noguchi, the king of Japan, as it turns out in the end. Fantastic stuff. I mean, a double dose of Japanese representatives in the World Finals. Obviously, for the home nation, it doesn't get much better than that. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Well, speaking of Rei Noguchi, let's catch up with him now then, get his thoughts and feelings after heading, I would say, to Japan, but he's already there, of course. But heading to the World Finals to represent fcinter. Rei, tell me, obviously, how you're feeling right now. What thoughts are going through your mind as you're crowned the new champion?
今インタビューを受けていることで自分がどれほどすごいことしたのかっていうのを感じています。ここに来るまでもあっという間でそれをあまり実感する機会なかったですからね。なので今とても気分がいいですね。
Right, okay, well, I obviously don't speak Japanese, so bear with me for a minute. I'm going to do my best to translate as I possibly can based on what's being told to me here. So what he's saying is that he's realized that he's done a great job. Everything happened so quickly for him to get here, and he never had a chance for it to actually happen until now. So he's feeling obviously pretty ecstatic, feeling pretty great. So let's talk about, Rei, that game and what actually happened, because on paper the result was quite close. And obviously you were able to get the job done with Lautaro really helping you out there as well. I mean, talk to me a little bit about what you were thinking during the game and how you were able to use that player to the best advantage possible.
個人的には決勝戦はそこまで接戦だとは思いませんでした。試合中はずっと落ち着いた気分でプレーすることができましたし、常に試合を支配することができていたと感じています。 またラウタロ・マルティネスのビッグタイムカードは決勝で1ゴール1アシストという素晴らしい記録を残し、私の得意とする全てのフォーメーションで機能してくれました。彼が間違いなく決勝のマン・オブ・ザ・マッチだと思っています。
Okay, so he said he actually didn't think that the final was that close. He thought that he was pretty much in control and dominated for most of it. Lautaro Martinez's big-time card, with which he scored and he assisted in the final, he adapted very well to his favorite formation, so he felt that he was very much the man of the match, that this was the right call to make to use this player. He's very happy with that choice indeed. All right, the final question then. How do you feel about being the representative in your home country? And on top of that, the fact that you'll be pulling on the FC Inter shirts, and how will you be preparing between now and then when the time comes around in July?
もちろんワールドファイナルを楽しみにしています。私にとってはホームでもある東京での開催ですし、おそらくモバイル部門で日本人がワールドファイナルに進むのは初めてのことなので、日本の代表として、そしてインテルというビッグクラブの代表としてベストを尽くしたいと思っています。そして大会に向けての準備ですが、念のため英語力を上げておきたいですね。試合に関してはいつも通りプレーするだけなので、特別に準備することはないと思っています。
So he says he's obviously very much looking forward to playing the World Finals because it's going to be in his hometown in Tokyo. And he thinks he's also the first mobile representative from Japan to also be representing his country at this competition. And I believe that actually is true. So well done to you, Ray. On top of that, he's going to be doing his best to get ready to represent Japan the best that he can. Part of the preparation is that he actually wants to improve his English. So that would be nice to be able to talk to him at least a few words here and there in the next few months. But just beyond that, he doesn't plan on actually making any other kind of special preparations. Well, Ray, congratulations to you again. Thank you very much for speaking to us. And hopefully we'll be able to speak with you in English in July. But until then, arigato. Take care. Best of luck in Japan. And guys, I mean, what a day!
What a day, indeed.
Time to catch our breath a little bit. I mean, it really was breathless.
Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, at least from a commentary standpoint from what we saw on stream, has to be one of the most goal-filled club finals we have had. I can't think of another one.
It's the biggest workout the two of you guys have ever had. Up and down, so excited, getting pumped, sitting down, standing up, walking around. I mean, you really got in your groove today.
I think it's the enthusiasm of Harry kind of rubs off on me, and I just join in. That's just how it happens. He's normally flailing arms left, right, and centre. I have to join in, otherwise he'll look like we need to lock him up. So.
Well, that's a wrap for the FC Inter finals. Of course, there's still 2 more to go. We still have Arsenal, we still have Manchester United coming up in May, both of them. So make sure that you stay to date on our social media platforms, and that way you don't miss out on anything. And of course, in the meantime, keep playing eFootball, keep enjoying the game, keep enjoying the competitions. You can watch it back if you want to get excited for the grand finales that we still have coming up. But guys, any other final words you would like to impart with our wonderful audience before we say goodbye?
Just don't miss any of the other club finals, because this one was bonkers. And also, the World Finals at the moment looks to have so many different representatives in terms of nations. You have Brazil, France, Mexico, USA, Thailand, India, and now Japan ×2. So there's going to be plenty of nations for you to kind of dig into and see the differences in play style.
It's a real eclectic feel to that World Finals already, and we've still got spots up for grabs. So please, folks, don't miss the next 2 events, because if it's anything like this one, you're going to miss out on a lot.
They've set the bar extremely high.
They really have.
The tantalizing prospect is that the bar could continue to rise. So let's find out if they do. Until then, thank you very much to everyone who has been involved behind the scenes, in front of camera, and everybody who has joined in with us throughout the day as well. It's been a brilliant afternoon for the FC Inter finals. Of course, still plenty more to come, so stick around and we'll see you very soon. Until then, arrivederci!